Hey, I got something to show you guys. Take a look. It is spring. Happy spring to all of you. Take a look at what we have here for you from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Beautiful spring scent candles here for you. Hand poured with premium fragrance and essential oils. How about this? Our coconut soy wax candles bring fresh, uplifting spring scents to your home. Made with clean, natural ingredients, they're a mindful choice for sensitive spaces and those who love effortless seasonal fragrances. You got to check it out right now. There's the soft bloom and the lemon bar candles, all healthy ingredients, all from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. And if you're a first-time customer, use the promo code InsideEdge20. That's InsideEdge20. Get this for yourself, for your friends, family, everyone. You want a good-smelling home, AlleyRoseFragrances.com will make it happen. Again, AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Get the new spring candles. And when you order, if you're a first-time customer, InsideEdge20 is the promo code.
Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to Fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams.
And welcome in, everybody, to another edition of, well, what one would call a wild Cavaliers post-game show mixed with a little Inside Edge Primetime, mixed with a little bit of Midnight Run. It is the Inside Edge Network. We have Kyle Cornell over to the right. I learned today, Chad, that sometimes we are not to the left. Kyle Cornell over to the right, Chad Bryan in the middle. I'm Eli Moon. We have smiles on our faces, but don't be confused. Don't get it twisted. The Cavaliers fall tonight, 111-101 to the Detroit Pistons on the road in Detroit. Game one, they fall. They are now down 1-0. There's a lot of sad faces. Kyle Cornell, who is usually social media-less, except for make sure you follow the Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell Facebook page. Give him a follow. But as you see there, anybody want to try? Fellas, let's dive into it. Where do you want to start? I guess I would typically ask how you guys are doing, but I mean, a lot of sad faces. Chad, let's start with you. I mean, how are you feeling? And then you can pass the baton over to Kyle.
Well, I mean, kind of like the Cavs. My wife, I decided to take a quarter and a half off of basketball tonight, so I missed some of the game, but that's okay because so did the Cavs. I don't know. And by the way, the right to the left thing, I didn't have the heart to tell you, Eli. I've always been to the right. I don't know. It seemed like you were really comfortable.
You let me do this for almost 6 months. The same thing.
I've been trying to work up the courage, man. I said, once we get to the 7-month point, I'm going to tell him, and it just hadn't come on the calendar yet, so that's no problem.
See, I feel
true
like
friendship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey.
All right, go ahead.
By the way, you got some mayo, right? No.
I
mustard?
hate mayo. I hate mayo.
Well,
That's jizz.
No.
Whoa, no. Time out. That's a technical foul.
We saw plenty of those.
That's a flagrant too, I think. Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm okay. Besides missing half the game, because of my Wi-Fi, I'm getting a new router sent to me on the 7th, though. So a couple of days, but yeah, I'm good. How are you guys?
All right. Well, new router for Chad. Maybe that and the Cavaliers can play a little bit better in game 2. Kyle, you look distressed, pal. Are you all right?
Yeah, can I send James Harden on a route out of Cleveland? Like this And people are going to say, oh, my God, but he had 13 in the fourth quarter, and he stepped up. Dude, he looked slow in the fourth quarter getting to those shots, and he's lucky Duncan Robinson was guarding him half the time. Otherwise, he would have done what happened when anyone else guarded him, turn the fucking ball over. That's all he did. There's a reason why Harden didn't play for about almost a full quarter, and the Cavs came all the way back and tied the game. Like, he had a little bit of breath because he's 37 and old and can't move against a team like Detroit, who's all apparently under the age of 21. Like, he can't fucking handle it. Like, I'm sorry, he can't. In those moments, and he's proven this, he cannot do it. Is it an upgrade over Darius Garland? Sure, because he's out there, but that's about it. Like, you're getting the same kind. At least Darius Garland put more effort in on defense. He wasn't nearly as good as far as an overall player. I think James is still probably a better player when it's all said and done. But like defensively, at least Garland tries. Like he may still suck and not be able to get the job done, but at least he puts effort into it. He was effortly trying to get rebounds and trying to play defense and close out and all this stuff. Watch James Harden play defense. It is fucking hilarious. This guy does not move at all. He just stands there. At the end of the game, down 5 points, he's guarding no one. He's standing on an island on defense by himself, 10 feet past the three-point line. What the fuck are we doing? Like, why is he on the floor? Get him off. He had his little run in the fourth quarter, then take him out of the game. Like, that's all they had to do, and they probably would have won this one.
I did see your post on the Unfiltered page about, your thoughts. So I knew we get some heavy thoughts on James Harden, and I understand. I mean,
heavy thoughts like James Harden in a fucking strip club. Yeah, heavy. Get him out of the fucking game.
Yeah, it wasn't good at points. I mean, I think one of the noticeable things, though, for me, too, was the front court. We actually, we spent time talking to Tim Alcorn earlier, the Cavs radio voice, and he mentioned about the front court guys. And, early on, me and Papa Moon were high-fiving. I mean, we had dinner made. I mean, Papa Moon made some great steak and rice with some beans. I mean, just phenomenal. Celebrated Cinco de Mayo. Kyle kept talking about it during Unfiltered. So I was like, look, we got to celebrate something somewhat close to Cinco de Mayo. So we're celebrating high-fiving, low-fiving. Jared Allen and Evan Mobley are doing the thing, and then all of a sudden, Jared Allen gets 3 fouls, and then he doesn't play with 6 minutes left in the second quarter all the way up to halftime, and he's missing substantial minutes. And Evan Mobley, as the game went on, just seemed to lose that mean streak that he started the game with. So that's the big thing I think that stands out to me too, Kyle. Not disregarding James Harden, because yes, he had a great fourth, but there were times where him and Donovan as well. Let's also call it out on Donovan too. The let's dribble a few times, step back because I'm Donovan Mitchell and gonna shoot it. That's kind of wore out. Teams are going to just get in your face and make you, make the shot. And they have done that. The Raptors did that, and now the Pistons did that in game one. And it's not working a lot of the times. And I get it. Donovan did have a decent game for the Cavs. I'm not saying he didn't. 23 points, but still 9 of 19. It's dang near reflective of, the game, I believe game 7 or game 6 against the Toronto Raptors. So I guess, you look at that too, Kyle. It's just overall, James Harden at times did look 36, but the front court and, literally a game removed from
56.
Yeah. But literally a game removed from 22 points and 19 rebounds for Jared Allen. And now he doesn't play a majority, it feels like, of game one. That was a big thing that stood out to me as well.
I'm not trying to give the bigs a pass. Trust me, like Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, and Jared did it to himself and foul trouble. Detroit was aggressive with him early and put him in that spot. At that point, you just got to go straight up, and just take whatever they give you. You can't keep reaching in and trying to block every shot, because Detroit's a physical team, especially in the interior. They're not built to hit 23s a game. They're built to wear you down inside. That's why in the fourth quarter, Jalen Duren's getting every offensive rebound. He's boxing out Evan Mobley on essentially what was a fast break between the basket and getting easy dunks. He had 3 straight dunks. That just can't happen. And Evan Mobley can't use the I'm 36 and have sandbags for leg excuse. He's still in his 20s, man. He's got to be more aggressive. That cannot be how it goes. And if it is, they had the whole thing, I think ESPN posted it or someone where they simmed the series on 2K. Everyone had Detroit winning in 5. Gentleman's sweep. If they play like that, no game is going to be a 20-point game, but the Cavs will lose every single game. You can't start like that. You can't get down 17 points in the first half. And you can't battle all the way back with James Harden off the floor and then assume Papa Beard is going to pop up there and all of a sudden show up like 2018 James Harden. He's not doing that. And if he does do that, that means he's going to fail in game 6 and game 7, and you can't have him out there. This team, and I'd say they plays Oklahoma City. He does not need to play more than 20 minutes. I'm having him come off the bench, give me a little bit of scoring, some ball handling, and then get off the fucking court before you're out of breath. because you can't handle it. And you've got guys like Schroeder and Ellis and these guys that can play and play defense and can match Detroit and teams like Oklahoma City with length and all that. It's beyond just this series. There are teams that he just does not work well against. He could kind of find his way with Toronto a little bit, even though they guard him for 75 feet. But in this situation, Detroit is a bad matchup. Every single guard is on his ass. And the only person he can beat, like I said, is Duncan Robinson, but he's scoring 20. So it's like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, you cannot do that. And again, it's Donovan Mitchell. I can get on him for the scoring, but at least he plays defense. Like, at least he tries and is making an effort out there to play defense and get in people's face and contest shots. You live with it. He's a 6'1" guard. He's going to do what he can. At least he tries. James Harden does not try. I watched him literally on a possession 2 times. Detroit got an offensive rebound, went right by James Harden. Literally both times. He just could have stood there, almost like hands on his hips, like, well, what am I supposed to do? Fucking play basketball. Mr. I love basketball, and I want to play 82 games every year. Then fucking play the full game. You're not an offensive specialist. Dude, you're barely playable right now. And the fourth quarter is the only reason you got a couple easy layups and a couple easy shots on Duncan Robinson. Like I said, that's the only reason why people aren't going to throw him under the bus when they need to. Because for the first 3.5 quarters, that guy was fucking on Alcatraz. You couldn't find him if you tried.
Yeah.
Obama was making calls. Trump was like, where is he? I don't know. They have no idea what's going on. Like, he had no idea.
It was a rough one for sure. And Chad, we had Derpy 501st too chiming in here. Honestly, wrap it up. Getting sent to Cancun in 4 after that BS performance from the Cavs. Chad, I want to hear your thoughts on the Cavaliers here, because obviously we see, Kyle is obviously the biggest James Harden fan in Cleveland right now. All jokes aside, he wants a change in the starting lineup.
Just try to play defense. Just try. That's all you need to do. He's big. He's thick. He can get rebounds. Just try. God, it's the playoffs. And
Kyle, the QR code is right above your head. If you want to go to Fanatics and grab a James Harden jersey, that's where you want to do that.
Dude, this is it for him, by the way. If he doesn't perform in this postseason, no one's paying his bitch ass anymore. No one's giving him $50 million a year to do this kind of shit. Oh, yeah, give me 22 and give me 13 in the fourth and play absolutely no fucking defense and watch the team that built the lead all the way back and tied the game with, what was it, like 5 minutes left? Still lose by 10 because you can't play defense. If I'm Kenny Atkinson, I'm sitting his ass. Like, you cannot do that. I don't care how long you've been in the league. I don't care how many points you scored. In playoff basketball, you need to play defense. If you do not, you will lose ball games. This is not 150 to 142. It's 111 to 101. These are closer games. That's the difference. You can't just take plays off. There's no sense of urgency, and that goes for all the Cavs. Only a few of them. Tyson, maybe some Schroeder in there, and maybe Donovan in their first quarter or two a little bit when he was starting to score a little bit. Then he obviously took a bit of a break himself offensively. But, there's no sense of urgency. It's like they just assume, oh, whatever, we're going to go 7 and we'll figure it out. Or we're going to wait till we go back home to Cleveland and we have those 2 games locked up, right? No, not against a team like this. They don't fucking care. They're tired of it. They haven't won a game once since, what did they say, 2008 or whatever it was, or some crazy shit, 2007 or something like that. This team is angry, they're pissed, and they love that coach. And they will fight for him. So you have to bring it. They have more talent. The Cavs are so much more talented than Detroit.
Yeah.
But they will lose this series quickly if they don't get their fucking heads on straight and start playing the entire game. Because that team will. Even if they're missing shots, effort is never going to be a problem with Detroit.
Chad, over to you.
Yeah, when you asked me that question 5 minutes ago, back after this on Kyle's Corner. No. I'm kidding. I know
I'll take the whole fucking block, man. This is bullshit. Y'all invited me here. I'll Charles Barkley this entire thing.
Okay. I don't blame you for being upset, man. Listen, 10 turnovers between James Harden and Donovan Mitchell isn't going to cut it. You talked about it. The defensive effort. I mean, hey, 9 of 9 from the free throw line. That was nice. I'm trying to find the positives, man. But yeah, you got to play some defense. I think what Harden does would work if you had a ton of size and length and athleticism on the perimeter, right? But you don't. Like you said, I mean, you've got Donovan Mitchell, who's a 6'1" guard. He's trying to play defense, but he's not going to. You can't. Yeah, I get the effort is there from Mitchell, but when you've got Harden literally standing there again without a defensive stopper on the perimeter, without someone 6'8", that's got length and can move, it's not going to work, man. I'm not sure I can put it into quite as many colorful words as you did, Kyle, but I agree with you, man. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have to change something. Defensively, you've got to get some kind of an effort out of Harden, or I think you're right. He can't be out there. You can't just play offense.
Yeah, and I think too that this, you both bring up strong points. I think the other thing that stood out too is only 18 minutes for Jalen Tyson. And we spent time talking to Tim earlier about Jalen Tyson and his impact, and I know Tim doesn't make the calls right on who's in and out is Kenny Atkinson, but I just would wonder what's going through Kenny Atkinson's mind. We'll hopefully get some post game sound throughout the show here, and we'll play that as you remain. A reminder: one stream tonight. This is Cavs post game for Game 1. They fall 111-101 to the Pistons in Game 1 in Detroit. There's also be InsideEdge Primetime with Chad and I, and then Midnight Run with Anthony Alford. I heard he is brewing his coffee right now, wherever he may be. So he is getting ready, and he's getting ready to go. But Kyle, bring up a lot of strong points about the defensive effort, and I think Jalen Tyson would help with that. He only played 18 minutes tonight, and I would have liked to see a lot more out of him because he was becoming a problem for Cade Cunningham, for whoever he was defending at the time, and I think that stands out to me. I guess, we'll talk. We got a lot more time here to talk here on this post-game show. We're just getting started, but I guess that's the biggest thing that stands out to me is like, what exactly is the plan with this bench unit, this second unit? Because I love Dean Wade and he gave a lot of effort, but I think maybe 6 to 8 more minutes for Jalen Tyson is the move. I think he's a better offensive weapon. I think if I see one more Dean Wade missed corner 3, I might pass out. I might actually just pass out on my couch and be done. Like that might be it, because I would like to see some youthfulness. Because to your point, Kyle, I get they're not all under 21. But Jalen Tyson can compete with this younger Pistons team. And I'm not saying Dean Wade's an old man. I get it. But there's just a little bit more movement with Jalen Tyson. More of a dog. He kind of like he's a Piston that's not in a Pistons uniform. He does a Cavs uniform. He would fit very well on that rough and tough team. And I would like to see more out of Jalen Tyson. 18 minutes tonight, I guess I was just disappointed. I think he only had one shot as well, Jalen Tyson. Yeah, one shot over 1. So I guess that was the biggest thing too, that stood out to me in terms of once we peel back the layers of the Harden and the defense and the front court, it's what exactly are we doing with this second unit? Because the Pistons don't have a ton of offensive firepower. To your point, Kyle, Duncan Robinson out there scoring 20 points tonight or damn near. I mean, he shouldn't be doing that. 19 for Duncan Robinson. You're looking here, you got 20 for Tobias Harris, and I know he had a great Game 7. Tobias Harris should not be piecing you up in a Game 1 in the second round. It was
balanced. They had a balance. I mean, and it wasn't like, again, it wasn't a crazy number of people. And AA said in the stats last time they beat a playoff team on the road, February 9th, 4-12 in road games, Donovan Mitchell era in playoff games on the road, 4-12 overall. I mean, Eli, you got a great point. How many minutes did James Harden play? I'd cut that shit in half, and I'd spread it out. I'd give it to Jalen Tyson. I'd give it to, Keon Ellis could be a guy for this team. Talk about the youth and the wanting to prove himself and to be that kind of first or second guy off the bench that could make a big impact, who didn't play a lot in the Toronto series because it just wasn't asked of him. And I still said this. I would start Dennis Schroeder Thursday. Like, he's in my starting lineup. His intensity, the way he plays basketball, and he can score and, contribute the ball, get assists. He can do all that. Yeah. A little bit bigger, a little bit taller than Donovan Mitchell too, so he can still play some defense against Cade if you really need him to. But I don't know about
the team. A lot, man. Schroeder's been through a lot. He's been there, man. He's seen a lot.
Yeah, the Dean Wade thing. I mean, he's in there for his defense and to hit some shots here and there. He's not. He had a stretch. I think it was in the third quarter where he had 2 or 3 straight buckets or whatever it was. And you're like, all right, shit. That's all you need him to do. You don't need him to score 10, 15 a game. Just give me a couple shots, play good defense because he is 6'8", 6'9", and has a little bit of length. And he can be a different look to throw at someone like Cade Cunningham. That's fine. But what you said too, Chad, and I think this is the whole point, you can't have Donovan Mitchell switching on Cade Cunningham. Like, it just can't happen. Like, Cade is 6'8", and he is all world in the mid-range. He's kind of like Shea, except a little bit taller and bigger and a little more thick. Like, and he doesn't have as good of a step back. He'll just go up over you, and he'll draw fouls. He's going to take 15 free throws a game. Kind of plays like James Harden, except he plays defense. Like back in the day. Like, it's honestly kind of Cade's game, and he doesn't obviously shoot a bunch of threes, but he's been getting confident from behind the arc, and that's a terrible scenario for the entire league, let alone the Cavs. But you just can't have that happen. And if he does, you just got to work it out to get him off of him quick, because I'd rather have Bones Holland or whatever the dude's name is, shooting, 45-foot shots and those going in and going like, well, we tried. What if we do there? I mean, he's going to hit those.
By the way, that was wild.
Yeah.
I will say too, Strus. I mean, Strus played great in his moments. Defensively, he left a little bit to be desired. He could have done a little more, but offensively, again, just timely. Like, he didn't score, 45 points or whatever it is. But, I mean, 15 points, 13 points, whatever it is, and they were in key spots and moments to keep the Cavs close. Again, it's not that far off. It's just a couple things. And, again, if I could get 20, 25 minutes of James Harden playing full.
Well, and that's what it is. Kind of
frustrating
when one of the things is effort that's so frustrating. It shouldn't be effort. It shouldn't be.
The turnovers, man. The turnovers are awful to watch. Like, it's so bad, right? I mean, just you guys saw that. Like, it's these passes, these lackadaisical, oh, he's going to roll. No, he's not. Or it's a little tiny little touch pass that is to nobody. And it's like, this is stuff that, like, my junior high school team that I coached, they would make these kind of mistakes, not a team in the Eastern Conference semifinals. That just can't happen.
Yeah. No, I agree, fellas. And, you know, we're going to talk a lot more here. We're just getting started. This is our long marathon of Tuesday. We got Cavs post game here. Game 1, Cavs fall to the Pistons 111-101. They will be playing game 2 that is over on Thursday, May 7th at 7 p.m. in Detroit as well, because the first 2 are in Detroit. So we'll talk a lot more about Cavs Pistons. We'll talk about what to make of this. I want to ask Chad a question when we come back from break as well. He brought up a Detroit Pistons player that I think stood out significantly. So we'll talk about that after the break. We'll get some other thoughts from Kyle as well. We'll tell, Kyle, here's what bro to bro, I'm going to need you to do like a little walk around the room, okay? Like, just breathe for a second. Okay.
I'm good. This is controlled chaos. Listen, the problem is you guys tagged Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell in this postgame, not just me. So this is why you're getting all this.
Hey, and we
wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah, exactly. You stole the words out of my mouth, Chad. I wouldn't want it any other way. We would it. Yes, we love it. That is Kyle Cornell to my right, and your right, I learned today. That is Chad Bryant in the middle. I'm Eli Moon. This is the Inside Edge Network. I'm sure you've seen our faces. We are 3 of the 4 daily co-hosts. Kyle Cornell doing Unfiltered 5 to 6 p.m. here on the Inside Edge Network. Chad and I, we're doing primetime 10 to 11 typically. And then Double A Anthony Alford somewhere. Somebody send the bat signal out there. He is midnight to 1 weekdays. So make sure you give us a follow at Inside Edge Net on all the socials. Check out the great website. As Chad said earlier, the QR code above Kyle's head has the partners page. Boom, it'll take it. There you go, Kyle. You're a pro. It'll take you to all the partners. You see all of our fantastic sponsors. Alley Rose Fragrances, W Energy, Mosser Moments, Sports Memorabilia, and Fanatics. You'll hear from all of them throughout the show and so much more. We're going to take a pause. That's Kyle. That's Chad. I'm Eli. And we're back on the Inside Edge Network right after this.
Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife, Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MosserMomentsPhotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. MosserMomentsPhotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Hey guys, thanks for watching today on Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell. Great show, obviously breaking down the voting and election day, as well as a couple different things, gas prices, stuff with the zoos, and even that crazy story involving that guy who hit the flag football ref here in Northeast Ohio. A lot to get into tomorrow on the program. Don't forget, we're going to obviously have a reaction to all of the different issues and everything that was voted on, as well as Cavaliers. They get the Game 1 win. We'll talk about that, all that and more tomorrow on Unfiltered. Stay with us.
All right, Chad. Listen, the joke's over. The gig's up, pal. The gig's up. Kyle's over to my right.
Where am I, Eli?
No, I'm not playing. All right, welcome back to Inside Edge Primetime / Cavs Postgame here on the Inside Edge Network. Kyle Cornell over to my right. Your right. Kyle, that's right. Chad's in the middle. I'm Eli Moon. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with this no more. You know what? You may think I'm the James Harden of this operation, but I play defense.
I would never say that.
I'll score before the fourth quarter. Thank you.
We
Kyle,
need you on the floor.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we got to have you on.
You're the Phil Handy of this team.
All right, I'm going to bow out. You guys, I have a great rest of your evening. No, I'm kidding. All right, if you're just joining us, the wheels have fallen off. We are rocking with you for about another half hour of Cavs postgame. So we'll have Kyle here with the next half hour or so, and then he'll probably hit the hay, and he'll be back with you for Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell. That's him.
There's only so much I can give. Yeah.
And a lot of great stuff.
On a hay bale after games like this. So yeah.
Oh my god, I feel like I have hay fever after watching a game like that.
And as you heard, Kyle, during the break, if you missed the show, Unfiltered this morning or this afternoon, just a great show. Obviously, a lot of. Yeah, I don't sleep anymore. As you heard on a midnight run, I don't sleep anymore. So everything's just the same. But afternoons, 5 to 6, Kyle had a lot of great stuff to talk about and some very important stuff to talk about too. Just a lot of stuff that hit home here in Ohio with the flag football incident and just some other stuff as well. Election day. So really great stuff. Kyle is off, the first 2 days off to a great start. And we are excited to hear what he's got the rest of the week. So check out Unfiltered and don't worry, he's not going anywhere. He is here for the next half hour. And we're going to try to calm everybody's blood pressure down. Okay. That's one thing I've learned is we got to keep an eye on the blood pressure. It's game one, fellas. I know it's rough. I know it's not ideal, a 10-point loss, but can I ask you this? Did you really expect,
oh boy,
you're crazy. Okay. Did you really expect a victory when they get down by 17 in the first half?
First off, I just like making Chad uncomfortable. It's like one of my favorite things. Like he's not used to me at all, and it's great. I love it.
True. But seriously, fellas, and Chad, I'll start with you.
I was off my screen for a minute, Kyle, and I came back, and that's what was happening. I'm like, oh, all right, here we are.
I'll start with you, Chad. I mean, did you really expect a victory being down 17 points? Most of this first half. I mean, it was pretty ugly for the Cavaliers. They did make a valiant effort, but it just seemed like they were playing behind the 8 ball for most of this game.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Cavs are a second half team. The Pistons struggle in the second half. I don't know what I expected, but I looked for them to come back and make it close at least, and they did. I mean, they got within 4 points, and then the ridiculous buzzer beater or whatever. It just some things that bounced their way, or it didn't bounce their way tonight. That could in game 2. I mean, it wasn't that bad. As poorly as they played in the first half, they still only lost by 10. I'm trying to tell myself as bad as the effort was from James Harden, right, on defense, still, it's a 10-point loss, 19 turnovers, 31 points off of turnovers. And I'm tired of watching this team give up entire quarters worth of points just off of turnovers in the game. That's wild. I mean, 31 points off of turnovers is like you're just gift wrapping an entire quarter of NBA basketball and handing it to your opponent in game 1 on the road. I mean, no wonder this team can't get out of the second round. I don't know what I expected. I mean, I guess no. Really.
Okay.
Even the long one, but the short one is no.
And I'll ask you the same, Kyle. I mean, as we talked about in the first segment, they were down by 17 at one point. I mean, I know they made the valiant effort, but and I'm going to be real. Papa Moon was watching with me for most of this. We were getting ready for the post game. He bowed out with about 4 or 5 minutes left. He said, it's over. I said, well, dude, didn't you teach me growing up that it's never over till the final horn? He said, let me tell you something. It's over. And, those were strong words from our Real Talk with Papa Moon. You can catch him Saturdays at 5 p.m. I wanted to believe that they would make the comeback, but Kyle, it just seemed like that first half was just, in the turnovers and everything was just too insurmountable.
Yeah, I figured they'd make a run, and that's what this Cavs team does is they dig a hole, and then they make a run, and then they get you thinking, okay, there's an opportunity, and if it's at home, they win. But on the road, man, you just can't do this. Like, you can overcome the turnovers, Chad, especially, too, when you're at home because you have the crowd.
Yeah.
And that we all know. We've been inside the Q Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, whatever you want to call it, Rocket Arena, whatever it is now. Like, when that thing is rocking, it's one of the top 3 arenas in all of professional basketball. Like, it gets loud in there. Like, you can tell.
Yeah.
And Detroit, though, is another one of those places where if it fills up, it gets pretty damn loud too. And you just can't do this in those games, especially when you have a chance to steal one. People forget this is a 62-win Detroit team. Like, they did some things right during the season.
I sure did.
Say what you want about JB Bickerstaff. He never won 60 games in Cleveland. That was Kenny Atkinson's thing. Like, JB figured some shit out in his run here in Cleveland, and he's implementing it into an equally youthful team, with that, honestly, more youth in Detroit, and a team that just wants to play hard. And you can't have those kind of lackadaisical runs where I think at one point Detroit was on a 15-3 run in the second quarter that just like blew the game open. And it's like the Cavs are winning to start the game when they were playing okay. And then it just all went downhill so fast. And you can blame J.A. for getting in foul trouble early. You can blame Evan Mobley for taking his foot off the gas, which he does a lot. You can blame Mitchell for scoring. I think at one point he had 14 of the 28 points the Cavs had. And then all of a sudden he was just gone until the fourth quarter, made a couple more shots. I will give a nickel to Donovan Mitchell to stop with these stupid floaters and finish at the rim.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, especially when no one's in front of you. Like, I get it if you got Jalen Duren on your 6, like right there about to block your shot. You got to lob it over him. That's fine. But this dude's pulling up from 10 feet away, throwing up lobs to no one to try and make these shots, and he's missing over half of them.
Yeah.
Like he's got to fit. Like, the athleticism is still there. He's only 28. This dude can still bounce. You know what? It would really energize the Cavs, taking off from 10 feet away and throwing that shit down hard over Jalen Duren or one of those guys. Whatever happened to post or Donovan Mitchell, it's like it's gone. Like, this was
I agree.
his thing. It was energetic for the team too, because when your star is doing that, look at what happened with LeBron. Those tomahawk dumps, we still feel those in Cleveland. Like, it's like that shit matters. Like, especially in a game where you need something. You need like a little bit of oomph. You need a little bit of energy. Some like, I want to feel it in my vein. Like, you gotta deliver on some of that stuff instead of this weak floating crap. And Eli, you mentioned it, the step back threes when he's not hitting any of them this entire postseason. It feels like Mitchell's been cold from 3-point land. I mean, I don't know, man. It just, you need more from that. But also, I'm going to go back to this. It's effort. It is 100% effort. And Kenny Atkinson, man, you got to crack the whip. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you got to get these guys to play 48 minutes because, again, a team like Detroit, they may lose this series. Detroit, they don't have as much talent as Cleveland, and Cleveland may just find a way to back into another series win because they're just more talented than the other team they're playing. But one thing they will do is compete the entire time. They were down, 24, 27 to the Magic in that series?
Right.
Season on the line. They came back and won that game by 20 and then won game 7 by a shit ton of points. Like, this team is not going to give up. You have to put them down. And if you don't, Detroit's going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I want to ask Kyle this. Aren't you surprised that this Cavs team doesn't play with like a permanent chip on their shoulder? I mean, after everything that's been said from every different angle, national media, local, wouldn't you come out with just a permanent attitude? I'm surprised that goes away at points. I don't know. Are you surprised by that at all?
I almost wonder if certain turnover, and this is not necessarily a bad thing, but it can be when it comes to unity of the team, as well as Schroeder and Ellis and Harden fit during the regular season and stuff too. This isn't Ty Jerome and Darius Garland and these guys that were part of that criticism. This is their first time getting this Cleveland soft bullshit out there. Yeah. And they're like, wait a minute, we're not soft. Like, Dennis Schroeder's like, I'm a bulldog. What are you talking about, man? Ask anyone. Some of these guys that are playing key moments, like, they just haven't been a part of this team throughout the entirety of the Donovan Mitchell era where they've been called soft. Jared Allen, like, to his credit, again, if you're going to foul. Like, go for it. These rinky-dink stuff where you're kind of blocking, trying to block shots, kind of not. I was told, because, again, it's different because I never played pro, but I always had 5 fouls. So that means I got 4 to play with. Like, if I'm going to foul you, I'm going to foul you. You're not going to get an and one. You're not going to get a chance to get the ball up. Like, it's going to be a hard foul. You're going to have to earn it at the free throw line. And Detroit, to their credit, they knocked down a lot of free throws tonight, too. That's a huge part of it. At one point, what did they have? They were like 16 free throws, and the Cavs had like none. Granted, Cleveland made some, obviously, in the second half, and that's how they built their lead back. They were more aggressive inside. But, like, you got to have that physicality and that mindset of like, yeah, Jed, you're right. Like, I'm tired of getting pushed around. They showed that in Game 7, not at first, but eventually they kind of woke up, and you saw the true potential of that team with guys like Allen and Mobley contributing. And yeah, again, Donovan not being his full self, but still giving you 20 plus. James Harden chipping in where he could and making a few plays on defense. Not a lot of plays, but a few, enough to warrant him playing 35 to 40 minutes a game. Like, you can't have someone play 40 minutes a game and not play defense. It just doesn't work. Like, it's 4-on-5 for most of the game then. And Detroit is just going to chip away at you. And it's easy stuff. It's the mid-range. It's the layups. It's the Tobias Harris scoring 20 a game, just backing you down, making you look like a little baby. Like, it just literally just happened all in front of us right there. That's the blueprint for Detroit winning this series in about 5 games. Like,
Yeah, they got to get to the free throw line too, Kyle. I mean, that's a great point. Donovan Mitchell, 2 free throws tonight. None for Jared Allen. He was in tremendous foul trouble early on. None for Evan Mobley.
Harden was the only one. Harden was the only one that got to the line.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing is they were really good from the free throw. I mean, 15 of 16 as a team is great, but 16 is not good.
But how many free throws did Detroit take?
Exactly. 35.
40, 35.
The exact difference in the game. I mean, they hit 12 more free throws. They won by 10. I mean, there you go.
And you know what? We have some comments coming in here, guys. Nate Schrader tuning in said Harden doesn't perform when it matters. He said that's been a big thing here. He said he did mention that only in Houston. He did chime in here a little bit as well. Only in Houston that maybe, and even Houston not too much because it didn't result in an NBA championship. So I think that's the big thing. And I want to bring this up too, guys. A guy that stood out to me for Detroit, and Chad, you brought him up earlier in our interview, was Arzar Thompson, Amen Thompson's brother. Yeah. And, a lot of times he's been known as Amen Thompson's brother because, I mean, he's been doing his thing in Houston. But Azar's had a really good development the last year and a half, I believe, for Detroit. And tonight he was a menace. He was a menace. He was causing a lot of disruption defensively. He's not going to stand out necessarily on the box score. I mean, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal and a block.
But all the hustle plays, right?
Like the hustle plays.
Yeah. Guys, it wasn't even just him. It was the entire team. That entire team, even their star, Cunningham, is blocking shots, getting back on defense. Yeah. Like, when you have an entire team bought into that philosophy, that's why the Cavs turned it around in the first place when they were down in the dumps, when it was just Darius Garland trying to win games. Because JB has that defensive background. And if you have a superstar that can score 25 a game and get guys the ball in open space, like Cunningham, who's not the prototypical point guard, again, being 6'8", like, he's got the size to be able to be something different than someone like a Donovan Mitchell or a Garland or any of those guys, even a Steph Curry, even stuff like that, where it's just a different kind of play you get from him. Yeah, it's the entire team that does it. Sure, he's a hell of a piece. But, that's all he is a piece. The wheel itself is solid defensively up north in Detroit. It's about trying to break them down, and you almost have to just score more points, and you have to be able to be more fluid. You can't have what happened in that first and second quarter where they were missing every shot, too, left and right, open threes, corner shots. Everybody was missing. Donovan's pulling those 15-foot floaters for no reason when he's got an open lane. It's like you just can't do that and expect that everything's just going to magically work itself out. I don't care if you're a second half team. You dig yourself those kind of holes and you get in those kind of rhythm and trends. Sometimes it's just too deep to climb out of. And a team like that's just not going to go away. You're in for a long, long road to try and figure this shit out.
Yeah. Chad, I mean, Kyle brings up some real strong points at defense, and I think that's going to be the thing here. We talked about it here on Primetime. We've talked about it before on this network, all of us at certain points. The standout here is going to be, can the Cavs out physical Detroit? Are they going to get gritty enough? And, we're not going to get gritty enough, I feel like, if Jared Allen's in foul trouble and if this front court backs down. And tonight, Chad, it appeared that Detroit just out-muscled the Cavaliers.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of felt like Evan Mobley even just got a little tired and just sort of went away. Like, he started off hot, right? It fizzled out, and I don't know if that's something that Detroit did to completely take him away, or if he just I don't know. It seems like Donovan Mitchell maybe has a little PTSD from trying to get inside versus Toronto. Like Kyle said, he's pulling up and shooting these 15, 18-foot floaters and whatever. He's got room. I mean, you can get inside, draw the foul, right? To get to the free throw line 2 times that's almost inexcusable. Game 1 on the road, and unfortunately, I mean, we're looking at his 30-point, game 1 streak end as well. Just personally, that's whatever. It would have been a cool thing to keep it going, but obviously you want to win the game. And I think to do those little things that it takes to win the game, like hustling back on defense, right? You lose the ball, you hustle back. We saw Dennis Schroeder in Game 7. Same thing when Mitchell turned the ball over and he sort of got frustrated and just sort of stood and watched for a minute, and all of a sudden now you're 5-on-4. And it's like you're the superstar, man. Like you're the 70.
Because everyone's doing this every time they miss a shot or they turn the ball over. It's like just play the fucking game, like because you can't sleep on these kind of teams. They're just gonna be like, okay, I keep doing this, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, and the teams like the Pistons and the Raptors, they take advantage of every little opportunity you give them, and they're not missing shots right now. The Pistons aren't even really that good of a shooting team, but you're giving them easy looks because the defensive effort is just it's not there.
If that team hits 15 threes a game, this will be a sweep.
Oh yeah,
I'm telling you right now. If that team starts hitting as many shots, I don't know how many threes they had tonight. I know Robinson had, I think, 5 by himself. 10. Yeah. Honestly, the sweet spot for them is 12 to 15. If they hit that, this will be the quickest sweep you've ever seen, because
especially if we're not getting the free throw line.
Oh my God! If you're not attacking, if you're not getting them off their blocks, getting them in foul trouble with their aggressiveness, and they're hitting shots too.
And that's the thing, though. That's the thing. It stood out.
No.
They had guys in foul trouble early on. Not necessarily foul trouble, but Thompson picked up a few quick fouls. They had Duncan Robinson picked up some fouls. And like we keep hammering home the point, why weren't we attacking those guys? Why weren't we going and driving in and getting to the free throw line instead of dribble, shoot the three, ball hits off the front of the rim, Detroit's on the run? Because I'm just going to be real. The Cavaliers are not poised to outrun any of these teams left in the Eastern Conference.
No.
Maybe New York. Maybe.
Man, New York's that's great points for the Cavs tonight. 6.
Yeah, they're just not. They're not poised to do that.
They gave the ball to Harden and let him dribble for 20 seconds. That's what they did. They put him on an island for an entire quarter, and it's like you're watching the lead just grow and grow from Detroit, and they keep playing iso ball with a 37-year-old James Harden. It's like,
we got frustrated with that with LeBron when he was in his prime, right? Like that was frustrating when they were winning. They were going to the finals 4 straight years, and we were like, man, no more iso ball. And now we got, like you said, 37-year-old James Harden doing it.
But I'll take 41-year-old LeBron on the iso over 37-year-old James Harden still to this day. Because at least I know LeBron's going to get to the basket every time, or he can get to his shot or his spot because he's just different. And that's not me trying to knock a James offensive game, but again, it's a different time, a different age, and it isn't Houston Rockets James Harden. This is Cleveland Cavaliers James Harden. You were brought in to push the pace, get assists, and hit open shots, and make some plays as a kind of a secondary ball handler to Donovan Mitchell to give him some breathers and let him play off the ball a little bit. How many times has Mitchell come off a screen and just shot? He did it once tonight. Guess what happened? Perfect swish. He had one off-ball screen. He caught it and shot it, made it. Everything else, he's dribbling. He's messing around. It's like, dude, use the screens, take the shot. Like, you don't have to make someone fall over every time you touch the ball, to win a game. Like, just do the thing that's so fundamentally right there in front of you, because Mitchell is a good catch and shooter. He's got good form.
Yeah. And you wonder, and I don't want to draw too much attention to it, and we probably don't have enough time. We're gonna have one more break segment when we come back from break here. I wonder, right? We have this conversation about, when LeBron, we brought him up when he, when his contract year was coming up, when he was available to go free agency, you started seeing sometimes like, okay, is Bron kind of checking out here a little bit? Is Bron getting ready to go to Miami or Los Angeles? I'm not saying that's the point necessarily with Donovan, but it does seem like he is having a really tough time in this postseason. Yeah. And with all the rumors and the circulation around, he's going to look to go somewhere to win if it doesn't happen in Cleveland. You just hope, and I don't think he is, but you just hope that he's not starting to check out.
Why wouldn't he look if he doesn't win here? He's only.
Well, 28. I get it, but I'm saying I would hope he's not checking out right now, because
he better not, because he's one of the final 4 teams in the East, and the team is right there.
But Kyle, he hasn't looked like himself damn near this entire postseason. Is my point? Like he has not looked like Donovan Mitchell.
The aggressiveness is gone. I don't know. It's just like, well, as far as the aggressiveness of getting, like the aggressiveness of shooting a bunch of fadeaways is still there, but getting to the rim and drawing fouls and scoring and like literally playing Donovan Mitchell's game, I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah,
I'm still standing by my point that regardless of what happens, honestly, I'm at the point now where even if the Cavs find a way to win a championship, I'm still trading Mobley for Giannis. Like if I can.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. We've talked about it with Giannis. I don't think there's many options you would present where I wouldn't say yes to getting Giannis here. I mean,
it's just you could have used that so much in this fourth quarter because he's just going to put his head down, draw fouls, and shoot free throws. And if he shoots 70% from the line, you're winning this game by 5 to 10 points.
Yep, they're up 1-0.
Yeah,
because he's going to get 15 to 20 free throws, and he's going to get all the inside buckets, and he's not going to pass out of it. He's going to finish, and
he's white collar talent with a blue collar mindset. I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, fellas. We'll keep an eye on. Obviously, we'll have a lot of time in the offseason to talk about it. Right now, the Cavs still hanging on in the playoffs. They are going to look to win Game 2. That is on Thursday. But we're going to take a quick pause here. When we come back, Kyle's going to stay with us here for one more segment of postgame. We'll transition into prime time. We'll flip the lights. As you saw yesterday, we forgot to turn our lights on for about the first segment. So we're going to make sure those are on. I think we're doing good so far. That's Kyle Cornell, right over there to the right.
Hey, speak for yourself. I didn't have my blue light on the. Don't speak for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not doing okay.
Chad Bryant in the middle. He's doing all right, I think. He's 46 years old and has a really bad chicken sandwich list. And I'm Eli Moon.
My God. What an outro.
This is the Inside Edge Network. Make sure you give us a follow, like, subscribe, all the great stuff here at Inside Edge Net. Check out the great website at InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Check out the partners page, the shop page, all that great stuff. And if you don't believe me that we have an awesome shop, I can understand, sometimes I say some silly things. Just listen to Anthony Alford and check out the InsideEdgeNetwork.com shop page.
Find us online at InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on all your favorite Inside Edge Network personalities, favorite shows, and our network partners. And also, we are independent. We are grassroots. Support us and support your local community digital sports leader with our merch store. Yes, we have a merch shop. There it is right there. Look at all the great stuff you can get there. The Champion Packable jacket. Got the Inside Edge Network t-shirt. How about hats? How about a glass? How about an official polo from the Inside Edge Network? We got water bottles as well. And you can customize it. Multiple different colors and sizes that we have available for you. That's right. Rep the network. Support us here at the Inside Edge Network. We are Cleveland's digital leader for sports, entertainment, mental health, and the culture. Check out our merch store right now at InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com.
Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife, Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MosserMomentsPhotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. MosserMomentsPhotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Whether you're searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at SportsMemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and player. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, but you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the SportsMemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee.
And welcome back to the Inside Edge Network. The Cleveland Cavaliers Game 1 post-game show. They fall to the Detroit Pistons 111-101 tonight in Detroit. We are back rocking with you. Kyle Cornell over to my right, Chad Bryan in the middle, and I am Eli Moon. We are back and rocking and rolling. One more final segment here of this Cavaliers post-game, and then we're going to let Kyle recharge, get ready for Unfiltered. We'll talk about some Unfiltered here before we get out of here. I'm curious if people are just tuning in what we are talking about tomorrow. So I can't wait to talk about that before we get out of here, Kyle. I do want some final thoughts from both of you, though. Chad, not our final thoughts for the show. You got to stay with me for another hour. I know. But
he's like, son of a bitch.
Hey, Kyle, you fill in for me for work tonight?
Absolutely not.
You're supposed to submit the PTO request.
I'm not supposed to do that publicly, am I? Yeah, that was awkward.
Yeah.
No, it's no big deal. Our program director is the only one watching, so he's just keeping an eye on it.
Let's talk about it, fellas. We got just a few moments here left in the post game here portion of this stream. Let's talk about just some final thoughts. I mean, we've talked about Game 1. I think we've kind of beat Game 1 with a hammer and told it to go home.
They beat me over the head with a hammer watching that game.
Sure did. They sure did.
Yeah.
I agree, fellas. I guess I'll ask both you. We'll start with you, Chad, and then we'll kick it over to Kyle. But just how can the Cavs shape up in Game 2 and win Game 2? Because the reality of the situation, I will remind again, the Cavaliers have to win a game in Detroit. They cannot just win all their Cleveland games in advance. They will go home. They have to win in Detroit. So, Chad, I'll start with you and then kick it over to Kyle. What do they need to do to win Game 2?
First of all, it would be great if that one game that they win in Detroit wouldn't have to be a Game 7 if it gets to that point. Mm-hmm. But to stretch it out to that point, the Cavs are going to have to play better defense. You're going to have to give defensive effort. You've got to, I'm going to sound so old, man, but you're going to have to move your feet. You're going to have to actually move your body, stay in front of your man. You've got to know where you should probably know where your assignment is. You should know where the player you're guarding is on the court, first of all. Second, you got to stop turning the ball over, right? Some shots are going to have to fall, but that's fine. So sometimes shots don't fall, but you can do the little effort things in between, right? When shots aren't falling, you can do things like give a defensive effort. You can not turn the ball over. You can take better care of the basketball to prevent those turnovers, right? And not give up 31 points off of turnovers. Those are the two biggest things, really. I mean, just defensive effort, and please stop turning the ball over. They're going to have better possessions.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree with that, Chad. I mean, the turnovers, the defense, moving your feet. Kyle, besides James Harden moving to the bench, because I think that's the biggest thing we've learned from you today, pal, with this Cavs breakdown, that is. What would you say are the keys to victory for Game 2 for the Cavaliers? If there are any, because right now, I mean, the way it's been sold, it seems like they're kind of in over their head, it appears, at least in Detroit. Is that the case?
Again, they have enough talent to win this series. The only series I think they would not win on strict talent is a series against the Knicks and a series against Oklahoma City. I think even against San Antonio, you could probably say they have enough to cancel out Wemby if it got to that point. And obviously, the Timberwolves are just kind of playing with house money at this point because they're not even supposed to be where they're at. So they're just having fun. And that's why and Edwards is saying, I didn't play well enough when they win a game in San Antonio. This is wild. But it's two things, and it's the number 10. They need to be sub 10 turnovers next game, and Detroit can't hit 10 or more threes. If they do both of those things, I'm telling you, you can talk about it Thursday after the game. You'll be talking about a Cavs win.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on it. Fellas. It's going to be an exciting Game 2. Again, Cavs are just tuning in. They did fall tonight, 111-101 in Detroit, Game 1. They do play Game 2, though, Thursday, May 7th at 7 p.m. And you know what? Papa Moon's birthday is Friday, fellas.
Yeah, so, get a dub late in the evening before he turns the bristle age of 35. He's still younger than James Harden.
Oh my goodness!
Come on.
Papa Moon's probably somewhere watching, and he probably just has the biggest smile on his face. He's gonna see me tomorrow, Kyle, for the first time, and just still be smiling.
He's younger than me. I mean, at this point.
No, we know that.
Yeah,
that was never a question, Jack. Come on.
You see all the gray in the beard. It comes through. You can see it.
Dude. Oh, I love it. I love it. Hey, fellas. Well, hey, that is pretty much going to wrap up our Cavaliers post game. Strong hour, just giving you some thoughts on our game one out there. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Don't go anywhere. We have Inside Edge Primetime, a lot of great stuff to talk about there. We're going to talk some Guardians later on. If you missed our Tim Alcorn interview earlier with the Cavs radio voice, Tim Alcorn, go ahead and check that out. It'll be when we go to break. When we come back, you'll get to hear that later on in the show in Primetime. We'll talk about Guardians. And we have our Tuesday top 5. Kyle, I know the chicken sandwich list got very controversial last week.
Yeah, you guys took over the network. It was all the rage of the winking lizard. Like we were.
Yeah. Now this week is I took over the reins for 1 week, and I'm doing top 5 cheeseburgers.
Dude, I swear, if you have McDonald's on there, I'm gonna throw you through the TV screen.
I guess you'll have to watch. Stay tuned.
Don't make me stay up later, please. Please.
Well, hey, with that, it's a perfect time.
Hay bales, man. Come on.
Absolutely, it's a perfect time to talk about it now, then, Kyle, because you do need to get to bed here in a minute. And maybe you'll get to recap tomorrow. I'll tell you.
I have a day job that I just start at 7:30 in the morning.
We'll talk about we'll talk about the prep. During prep tomorrow, we'll get ready. I'll go over my top 5 cheeseburgers if you miss it. No big deal.
I'll make sure at the worst case scenario during work, I'll throw it on so I can hear this apparently abysmal list you're about to drop on us.
I think it's all right. Well, we'll have to find out. But with that
top
being said,
5, Arby's has a great cheeseburger. Best I ever had.
So
Long
Kyle's,
yeah.
Oh my goodness. So Kyle's going to get to bed here in just a minute. But Kyle, for people that haven't caught your show this week, it's daily 5 to 6 p.m. here on the Inside Edge Network on Filtered. Go ahead and just give a quick synopsis of what you're going to be talking about tomorrow. If they missed the promo earlier in the show, what you're going to be talking about tomorrow, why they should just ultimately be tuning in to Unfiltered every day of the week, that is.
Ultimately, if you were entertained by my take on James Harden in the first segment of this entire podcast we had tonight for Postgame, that's pretty much the show as far as what I do. I haven't gotten that heated yet, believe it or not, but trust me, it's coming. But nevertheless, it's an overarching show, and it's a little bit different for what we do here on the Inside Edge Podcast Network. Obviously, very news driven. Believe me, we'll be talking about the Cavs tomorrow, so that's going to be something that I have more to say, believe it or not. So there'll be more on there with that. And especially in a place where I'm not upstaging Chad, because I never want to make him feel like he's not the center of our universe and the center of our screens, literally. So
that's
I mean,
better, honestly. I feel a little better. Thanks.
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure I saved some of it. But it's going to be great. We're going to obviously recap election coverage and all the stuff that went down. We have finalists now for statewide candidacies. We're going to be able to react to some of the levy situations across. It was multiple neighborhoods all around Northeast Ohio. I think I counted at least 8 or 9 different cities that were going for levies for their school districts. So there's a lot on the line tonight with election being here in the primary in May. And yeah, I'm sure there's going to be something else that pops up too before tomorrow. We got a lot. We're still obviously working to get some guests on, looking at Thursday and Friday possibly is the days where we're going to be able to get some folks on to talk about some things happening here in Northeast Ohio too. And expect that. It's going to be a lot more about kind of the current event type thing. I got some comments today about the gas prices. People are still pissed about that. So that's good to know that people are. It should not cost me almost $80 to fill up my Chevy Impala. Like, that's kind of ridiculous. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What the hell we're doing there. But nevertheless, make sure you guys tune in 5 o'clock Monday through Friday, 5 to 6, only an hour. So just an hour of your time. You worked a hard day. Just listen to the smooth, dulcet tones of my voice. And hopefully I don't piss you off too much. So.
Awesome.
Kyle, I think you and your show are a breath of fresh air, man. I've appreciated it so far. It's great to have you on our show, man. Even though I give you a little bit of a hard time, it's I love having you on, man. It's a lot of fun.
I thought you were going to say breath of fresh ass, which I would have been like, yeah, that's
the Cavs. Now get off our show. No,
get off. That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, if you guys couldn't tell, these two get along very well.
Chad's fucking amazing, and I'll tell him that on camera, off camera, whatever it is. And the sad part is he lied about his height. He's actually only 4'12". So it's like I was a little upset about that, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's fine. Like, he was sitting next to me. We had to get the booster seat out. Double A was like clapping. He's like, yeah, he's fucking shorter than me.
Listen, I'm legitimately 6'3". I felt like I had to sit on phone books to talk to Kyle. He said, "What? What's happening?" First of all, this never happens to me. It was wild.
I have a fucking hunch. I blame the tripod. I have to lean in.
I thought you had a hunch about something. I thought you were gonna say something.
Yeah, I was like,
I had a hunch that you were 63 inches, not 6'3".
I'm 63 years old, Kyle.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's how my knees feel.
Yeah. Word. Well, hey,
that you can see on Unfiltered because my table doesn't cover my knees. So
and it's almost summer, so it's short season. So
you're gonna get a lot of knee content. Lots of knee content.
Kyle Cornell uncovered.
I'm showing the thigh. I'm showing the thigh. I'm getting the tan, and I'm showing the thigh.
That's how you
right.
get on the show, man.
Yeah. Sounds great. Hey, well, we
find a paywall or something. I don't know what we're doing.
We appreciate you, Kyle Cornell. Again, you heard him Unfiltered here on the Inside Edge Network at Inside Edge Net. Give us a like, subscribe, follow, so you can stay tuned in with Kyle, Chad, me, Double A, everybody here to stay locked in to Unfiltered 5 to 6 p.m. again tomorrow and weekdays here on the Inside Edge Network. That's going to put a conclusion to our Cleveland Cavaliers postgame show. Kyle's going to sign off. Chad and I are with you for the next hour, getting you ready for Midnight Run, joining us after. So we'll go with prime time. If you missed our interview with Tim Alcorn, the Cavs radio voice earlier, we're going to go ahead and,
by the way. Great interview, guys. That was so good.
Thank you. We appreciate you. We're going to show it to everybody out there that missed it earlier, Kyle. We're going to see if, what their thoughts are, the great people out there. And then when we come back, we'll talk Guardians and the cheeseburger list, the Tuesday top 5.
Can I do my sign off, Eli?
Of course you can, pal. Send us the break.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ron Burgundy. Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
And with that, we'll be back with prime time after this.
San Diego, catching straight.
If you're not staying up till midnight, what are you doing? I understand everybody has to work, but you miss Midnight Run trivia. Myself and Eli. If you don't know the playoff schedule and you don't know which network the playoff schedule's on, we don't either. So check that out. Midnight Run trivia. Plus, we talked about Jared Allen. He was an absolute beast, and the Cavaliers needed to get that Game 7 because things would have been a lot different. Coming up tonight, we react to Cavs-Pistons Game 1. Hopefully, we are in a positive, celebratory mood talking about Cavs-Pistons tonight. That's Midnight Run, tonight at midnight, with myself, AA Anthony Alford, right here on the Inside Edge Network. The Inside Edge Network is brought to you by Fanatics. Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans, dedicated to our favorite teams and athletes to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We're talking NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, National Hockey League, the NCAA. I'm a wrestling guy as well. We got WWE apparel available too. It allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. It's right there in the corner of your screen. Get your official gear. Level up with us at fanatics.com.
Discover our collection of body mists made with clean, minimal ingredients. Handcrafted with natural essential oils and clean ingredients, they offer a natural alternative to synthetic fragrances. Perfect for sensitive skin and those seeking clean, mindful self-care, and the perfect gift for you or your special someone. Courtesy of Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers, use that promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order Dubby Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code InsideEdge10 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
And with that, welcome back to the Inside Edge Network. Oh my goodness, it is an exciting day here. As you see over to my far right, your left, that's Chad Bryan. He sometimes runs off the screen, so we're glad we were able to keep him here with us. I'm Eli Moon, and we have a friend of the network, a very, very important guest, Cavs radio voice, play-by-play announcer, Tim Alcorn. He's back here with the Inside Edge Network, so I guess we didn't scare him off with AA Anthony Alford. So that's a good thing. Tim, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm anxious to get this series started with the Pistons after the war of attrition with Toronto. I think everybody's highly anticipating this showdown with Detroit.
Yes. And we talked about it here on the network all this past week. I think we were nervous. I had to text Chad and hey, the Cavs got this, man. But in my heart, I was still nervous. Game 7. They go in to, back to Cleveland, but they had 3 troublesome games in Toronto. And we'll talk about the road impact a little bit later. But what were some of your takeaways from that 7-game battle against Toronto? A team that, I'll be honest, Tim, personally, on the outside looking in, I thought this was maybe a 5-game series against Toronto. The Cavs build that momentum. What were your takeaways?
Yeah, well, first of all, to talk about Toronto, give them credit. I mean, you talk about a team that was depleted going into that series. Emmanuel quickly never ended up playing a game. Brandon Ingram basically played 4.5 games, and then he was sidelined for the remainder of Game 5 and 6 and 7. So give them credit. They battled. That's a team on the rise. I'll tell you what, as you look down the road in the Eastern Conference, Toronto's a team to keep an eye on. That being said, I thought the Cavaliers weathered the storm. Certainly they didn't play their very best basketball, but that's not the biggest issue when you get to postseason. It is win and move on and win in advance. So the Cavaliers did that. But I think in the end, they showed they were the better basketball team. In the end, that veteran experience came through. Guys like Harden and Mitchell and Strus, and then Jared Allen. What can you say about his Game 7? Just off the charts magnificence in that seventh and deciding game, 22 points, 19 rebounds, and a double-double in one quarter with the 14 and 10 in the third. So I think the Cavaliers still have better basketball to play. I think they know that, and they better come up with that performance in the series against Detroit.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. I think when you talk about Detroit, I think maybe it feels like this is a team that the Cavs match up with a little bit better. We thought it was going to be a good matchup with Toronto, but again, they're kind of a feisty, plucky kind of a team. They just never gave up. Brandon Ingram, you mentioned him, the injury. We noticed in the first part of that series, he kind of was not really there. You got to wonder how much that heel was bugging him coming in. But I want to ask you, looking ahead to the Pistons, there's a lot to unpack. Cade Cunningham is one of the top 10 player in the league easily, I think. Defensively, do you think the Cavs try to concentrate on slowing him down, or do you just kind of let him get his points and limit everybody else's contributions and just, like you said, weather the storm and try to just get past? He's going to get his points. He's going to score. So do you limit everyone else, or what do you think the Cavs do defensively there?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question, Chad, and we'll see how at least tonight unfolds as far as game one is concerned. I don't think the Cavs have ever had the philosophy of, let's just have that guy get his points. I think they're more kill the head of the snake type of team. And so I think they're going to throw a lot of different looks at Cade Cunningham. I think you're going to see a lot of different guys defend him just to give him a different feel as to who his defender is. I think they'll try a little bit of everything. And certainly Cade has just had an incredible season, MVP caliber. You mentioned one of the top 10 in the league, and I certainly would put him in that category. And he had 7 games of 20 or more points against Orlando in that first round, 5 of 30 or more, the 45-point outburst that kind of saved their season. So he's done it all, and it's easier said than done to slow him down. But I think the Cavs have some defenders that can match up well with him. Of course, Dean Wade, Evan Mobley. We'll see if Keon Ellis gets some playing time in this series. He was limited in the series against Toronto, but I think if you're Kenny Atkinson, and again, I'm not in those film sessions, I'm not drawing up the X's and O's, but I think you throw different guys at Cade Cunningham, use your fouls if you have to, just to give him a different feel and to make it tough for him. He's going to get his points. I'm not saying give him his points. He's going to get them, but really make him earn those points.
Fair.
Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense, Tim. And, you talked about it with AA, last round about, the Cavs' depth and having an ability to go 10, 11 deep at some points. And I'm not going to lie, I had a big smile on my face when I saw Thomas Bryant out there later on in the series. It was good to see him down in the front court doing his thing. I wanted to ask you about the sidelines for a moment here. JB Bickerstaff, the head coach of the Detroit Pistons, obviously very familiar here in Cleveland because he was the head coach before Kenny Atkinson. How much does that factor in, JB having some familiarity with the players? And the big question, Tim, is, JB struggled to get out of the second round as, to get to over the hump. And Kenny Atkinson trying to get over the hump with his Cavaliers team. How much is that factor in, this JB Bickerstaff and the familiarity?
Well, Eli, that's a great question. And to me, it's a great storyline for this series. And listen, I'll preface my answer by saying I'm a huge JB Bickerstaff fan. I'll never have a negative word to say about JB. His first half season as head coach after he replaced John Beilein was my first year as the Cavalier play-by-play team and play-by-play announcer. And he inherited a team that was really at rock bottom. And he developed a winning culture. He instilled a winning attitude and that toughness that he likes to talk about and that you see Detroit play with. And so I think the job that he has done with the Pistons and going back to the Cavs really is remarkable. I just think he's a great head coach. So his familiarity with the Cavaliers, absolutely that's going to help. He's been around Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. So he kind of knows their ins and outs and their strengths and weaknesses. So that's certainly going to play a benefit. But in the end, it's up to those 10 guys on the floor. Does JB want to beat the Cavaliers? 100%. No, I'm sure in his press conference he's going to say, "Oh, it's just another team." I don't believe that, and I hope the reporters don't believe that. Sure, he wants to go out and get them, but and he knows the personnel. That being said, playoff basketball comes down to execution, and it comes down to the Cavalier players against the Piston players. And I think at least on paper, the rosters match up pretty evenly. But I think for the Cavaliers, this is a good matchup as far as the strengths and weaknesses of one team compared to strengths and weaknesses of the other.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think I have questions about. I've looked at the Pistons defensively and just how they're going to use Ausar Thompson. I think he can do a lot of different things. He's a little bit like Scotty Barnes in that way. He's kind of a Swiss Army knife of a defender, I guess. So my question to you, do you think they use him to seal off Donovan Mitchell, to not let him get to the rim? Do they use Thompson in the low post against Mobley or Allen? Do they kind of have him check James Harden? I mean, you can do all of those things with him. But what do you think the focus is for the Pistons coming out? I just right away in game one, how do you expect to see Thompson kind of deployed on defense?
Yeah, again, I think like the Cavaliers will do with Cade Cunningham, I think Ausar Thompson is going to be playing different roles, and that's a great term, Swiss Army knife. I may have to use that one tonight. Yeah, they work him around. So I think JB is going to be flexible insofar as what Ausar does defensively, who he has him on. To me, this is the beauty. This is the beauty of NBA playoff basketball, the chess match that ensues between both of the coaches, game 1 to game 2 and 3 and 4. And as the series moves along, we saw that somewhat in the Toronto series, where Darko Rajakovic would make a move and then Kenny Atkinson would have to counter. You saw Strus start a couple of games and then come back in game 7 and come off the bench again. So with Ausar Thompson, to your point, he's got a unique skill set and they can use him in different ways. So I don't think JB will use him the same every single solitary game. Yeah. I think the Cavs are built offensively a little bit differently than Detroit. We talked about Cade Cunningham, and he's the head of the snake. And don't get me wrong, Donovan is the guy for the Cavaliers, but I think the Cavs have a little more versatility at the offensive end. If you try to just shut down Donovan Mitchell, I think Harden, Mobley, and Allen, and whether it's Strus or Wade, I think those guys can do a little more damage offensively than what Detroit has surrounded Cade Cunningham with as far as a quartet on the floor.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that's very interesting, Tim. And again, if you're just tuning in, Tim Alcorn, the radio voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers, joining us for a second time. So again, we didn't scare him off. He's rocking with us. We have him here. He's in Detroit right now, obviously for game 1 tip-off. Literally, as you're hearing this now, tip-off is just a half hour or less than away. So, I mean, Tim's making some time here for the network. We appreciate it. Tim, I wanted to ask you about this as well. The front court really stepped up. Jared Allen, you mentioned the game 7. Evan Mobley, I was really thrilled with game 6. Seeing, I know we didn't win, but taking it to the hole there in the end of the fourth quarter where they tie it up, I was like, okay, these are the steps we're looking for. And it was in the same time where Donovan Mitchell wasn't the same Spider we're used to. He had a little bit of a struggle with efficiency. James Harden had some turnover troubles. What's, I guess, for this series, what's more important? The backcourt to have a lights out series and really thrive? Or is it going to be on the guys down low, the front court, Allen, Mobley, and then those other guys behind them? What's more important? Are they equal?
Well, you guys have really good questions. I think the front court is going to be a huge factor in this series because Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, those are guys that can really control it for Detroit. And again, we talked about J.B. Bickerstaff instilling that physicality and that toughness with the Piston team. So the Cavaliers are going to have to match that and answer that. And to your point, Eli, I thought Evan Mobley through the whole series, 1 through 7 against Toronto, was the Cavs' best player. I really do. I think he had more consistency. Donovan got off to that great start with games of 32 and 30 in games 1 and 2. And then, as you said, his level dropped games 3 through 7. And James Harden, as you said, with the turnover issues. But I thought Evan Mobley really afforded himself very, very well. So, listen, the Cavalier backcourt is huge. Don't get me wrong. They're going to need Donovan Mitchell. They're going to need James Harden to perform at a high level to get by this Detroit team because they're going to swarm those two guys in the backcourt. But I think that front court matchup is big. Pardon the pun. I think with Allen and Mobley going up against Stewart and as I said, Jalen Duren, who's had a great series, I think the winner of that battle within the war will probably win this series.
Yeah, I mean, you brought up the Cavs' versatility. I think that's their biggest asset right now. They just have a ton of different ways they can score. When the shots are falling, they're extremely dangerous on offense. We saw what Jared Allen did that third quarter. I'll probably never stop talking about that third quarter. That was wild. They seem
14 and 10. I mean, it was amazing. 14 and 10 in one quarter.
Unbelievable. I mean, they just seem to be a team that kind of that flips the switch at times, right? And sometimes you know what you can expect. Like we can reasonably expect Donovan Mitchell to go for 30+ tonight. That's what he does in game one. And I think he's going to have a little bit easier time of getting to the rim in this series, depending on how, like I said, depending on how they defend him. Boy, he really had a tough time against Toronto after games 1 and 2. So this may be a tough question to answer, but who do you think on this Cavs team right now, between James Harden and between Donovan Mitchell, who do you think is feeling the most pressure to get by this Pistons team and to get to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I think pressure is internal. As much as there's outside noise and reporters and shows like yourself, I think the guys create pressure amongst they put it on themselves. And so I think for Donovan Mitchell, there's a real hunger. I don't know if it's a pressure, but there's a hunger to get beyond the second round. He's never done it in his NBA playoff career. So I think, and he's talked about that. He's very open. He wants to advance. He wants to get to a conference finals and an NBA finals, obviously. So for Donovan Mitchell, I think there's a real hunger there. And for James Harden, 17 years in the playoffs, 17 years in the NBA, and yet he doesn't have that ring. So I'm not sure if James feels that pressure as much as Donovan does. I do know that they both have a drive and they both have an intensity to them, that competitive fire that they do want to advance. But I think it might rest a little more heavily on Donovan because he puts it on himself.
Yeah, you can see the look on his face, especially in Game 7. You can tell he wants it. You can see that drive. I mean, you can see that he's extremely focused right now. Despite, like I said, the struggles getting to the rim, that's fine. It's going to happen. But, yeah, he looks like he's ready to try to take on that challenge.
Yep, I totally agree, and I agree with you. He and the stats bear it out. His Game 1 performances over the years, for whatever the case may be, he'll get it going. And the Cavaliers, again, they'll need that tonight, no doubt.
Absolutely. And Tim, let's talk about Game 1 tonight. 7:00. You'll be on the call. Obviously, they can check you out on WTM 1100 and WMMS. All the great stations. I'll hear you. We'll be listening because we'll have a little bit of time before we get rocking and rolling for the rest of our festivities. So we'll be listening and cheering you on and cheering the Cavs on. But what has been the biggest difference between being at home when the Cavs have played lights out ball and being on the road? They went 0-3 in Toronto. They have to win a road game to win this series. They have to win at least one in Detroit. Yeah. What's been the biggest difference? Why does it seem like there's two different Cavs teams at home and then on the road?
Right. You think about the, that famous scene in Hoosiers where Gene Hackman takes out the tape measure and he goes, well, it's the same here. And there's truth to that. But the home team has such comfort being on their home floor. And, the crowds are just amazing. I'll give that arena, Scotiabank Arena, and their crowd a ton of credit. Wow, were they into it? And it'll be the same in Detroit. But to your point, Eli, you've got to win one on the road. You've got to figure out how to fight through that. And for the Cavaliers, I think it's going to be the veteran experience of what does it take to fight through that crowd and fight through the momentum if another team gets on a run. And that's where you count on guys like Mitchell and James Harden. As I said, 17 years. That's a lot of road basketball games. Max Strus, even Dennis Schroeder coming off the bench. Those are the guys that know what it takes. But to me, it's about not turning over the ball because for some reason, the opposing crowd will roar even louder when their home defense creates a turnover, and then they get out on a break and get a slam dunk or a transition three. The place just erupts, and that just gets that momentum going. So every possession is like gold in postseason basketball. You have to take care of the ball, and that was the issue in Toronto. The Raptors would force the Cavaliers into turnovers, get out and go, and the next thing you know, that place was literally shaking when Toronto had converted a turnover into points. So take care of the basketball, get some good shots, work that clock down, take the crowd out of it a little bit, and I think the Cavs will be fine. And that's what the veterans are going to have to do, not get caught up in the emotion of the game, because there's going to be runs. That's how basketball is, especially at the NBA level. But you got to withstand those runs and take care of the basketball.
Absolutely. No, that makes a ton of sense. And just a few more questions here with you, Tim. I know you're a busy guy, and I know I hope Detroit's treating you well. I hope Detroit's treating you well. I haven't been in about a year or so to Detroit, so I need to get back there. Beautiful city, and we'll root for the city to do well after the 7-game series, right? But all joking aside, I believe Chad has one more for you, and then we'll have one more from me, and then we'll let you get back to your busy day. But Chad, I think you have one more for Tim?
Yeah, sure. First, I was just going to say there's something to be said for waking up in your own bed, eating breakfast in your own kitchen. Just kind of like you said, the comforts of home are it beats traveling any day. Unless you're traveling for vacation, then that's pretty fun, but that's okay. That's a different story, right? This is
I'm traveling for work right now, so
yeah.
There you go. You know what I'm saying. So there's this perception, and it's an outside perception. It's a lot of media, people call the Cavs soft or whatever. And I don't necessarily think that that's true, but do you think just from the Pistons side that, they've got to try to play into that, right? They've got to try to do whatever they can to, even in non-basketball terms per se, kind of get in the Cavs' heads a little bit and try to play that up. And especially at home for the first 2 games, really try to give the Cavs a hard time. And like I said, play into that soft perception, right?
Yeah. Well, 2 parts of your question that I'll address first. I think any perception that the Cavs are soft disappeared in that Game 7 win over Toronto. They've brought some edge. They've brought some chippiness to this team. Jared Allen telling R.J. Barrett, go home. 3, not that you want to rack these up in a game, but 3 flagrant 1 fouls. Like, hey, we're going to knock you around too. We're not just going to be the ones to get pushed around. So I would hope that perception, if it hasn't totally disappeared, has at least faded somewhat. The Cavaliers can go toe-to-toe with anybody. I think Dennis Schroeder has shown he's not backing down from anybody. He's got a real edge to him, and I love it. In fact, I talked to Dennis earlier today. You'll hear part of that during the broadcast tonight. So I think the Cavs have kind of at least pushed that perception aside. And from the Detroit perspective, guys, listen, that's the way they played all season long. Yeah. If you like a street brawl, you're going to like this series because the Pistons want to get as physical and as rough and tumble as they can get. That's the way they play. That's the way JB coaches. And he readily admits that. That's why he works the officials so much, because he's open about it. This is the way we play. Yeah. We take it right to the edge. And so, sure, I don't know if it's because the Cavaliers are the opponent or the fact that it's just their style. But they're going to bring that. They're going to bring that tonight and Game 2 and 3 through however long it goes, because that's the way they play. Duran and Stewart and Paul Reed and Tobias Harris. They're physical, tough basketball players, and so I think the Cavs know that. They've got to stay away from the frustration of that and just fight through it. You can't complain to the officials every time there isn't a call, because they can't call it every single solitary time. But it's the way Detroit plays. So I don't know if it's so much that they're going to play that way because it's the Cavs, or the fact that it's just their style and that's how they play.
It's their comfort zone. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tim, I got one more here for you. We appreciate the time. Again, Tim Alcorn, the radio voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Check him out on the radio tonight, WTM 1100, WMMS, all the stations. You can check them out. We'll be tuning in and doing the same because we got to get ready for postgame, Tim. Okay, so we gotta be ready too. I got one more question for you. I'm a big Jalen Tyson guy. I rock with Jalen Tyson to the point where if Jordan Tyson would have been drafted by the Browns, we'd all be happy. We'd have the Tyson brothers here, but that's a different alternate universe. We're not there. But I want to ask you about Jalen Tyson, who is on the Cavaliers, and he was having a great season, and he kind of slowed down a little bit once the addition of James Harden, kind of figuring out his minute situation. But he's had some big games. I mean, this was the guy after, an ESPN game talking about this is Donovan Mitchell City, and he had his back. He's that dog we need, Tim. And how much are we going to see out of Jalen Tyson? Because I really feel like we're waiting on the Jalen Tyson game or the Jalen Tyson series where he makes his impact felt. Is this the series where we see more of Jalen Tyson?
Well, first of all, going back to what Chad was talking about, the soft perception, you can add Jalen Tyson to the name of guys that he doesn't back down from anybody. Yeah. And I love Jalen. He's a great kid, but a fiery competitor for a second-year player. He will bring it. So he's another one that says, I'm not soft, and don't call me that, and I don't play that way. And I think Jalen will be a big factor in this series. I don't think there's any doubt about that because, again, this is going to turn into a physical, kind of knockdown, drag-out type of series. And so Jalen will play a part in that. And I thought as the series went along against Toronto, he found his comfort zone. I think there were some early series jitters for a guy that's role has expanded this year. But I think he is absolutely going to play a part in this. I think he's going to knock down some big shots. I think if Detroit goes into this saying we don't have a lot to worry about with Jalen Tyson, they're going to be sadly mistaken because he's a guy that can do some damage. We mentioned earlier about Cade Cunningham, different defenders. I think at some point you're going to see Tyson on him just to kind of give him that different look and that physicality. And Jalen certainly isn't afraid to use his fouls. So, I think Tyson is going to be a big X factor in this series. I don't know if he's going to erupt, for 20 or 30 at any game. That's why you've got Mitchell and Harden and those type of players. But Tyson, I think, is going to be a double-digit guy. I think he's going to be a guy that's going to play some terrific defense. And Jalen's going to be highly valued in this series against Detroit.
Absolutely. And, we talk all the time about how the outside noise of the Cavaliers trading a lot of the first round picks not having. Well, hey, they definitely nailed their first round pick with Jalen Tyson, and that's something that Kobe Altman and that front office can be proud of because he's been a great addition to this team.
Struck gold. I mean, they struck gold with Jalen Tyson, and I thought Kenny really worked him beautifully last year in his rookie year, getting him acclimated to NBA basketball, and give credit to Jalen Tyson. He worked his backside off during the offseason this year. He was a different player when he came into camp at IMG and preseason. And I remember walking out of camp going, wow, this kid's going to make a difference this year. There was a leap from year one to year two. And for the coaches, they saw it as well. He earned their trust and he earned their belief. And, just repeating what I said earlier, he's now a valuable piece of this basketball team, and I think he'll be a big factor in this series.
I love it. And we appreciate you, Tim. We are excited to see what the Cavaliers do. I'll stay away from series predictions this time, okay? Because I said Cavs in 5, and I'm sorry, Cleveland, okay? I tried my best. But I'll stay away from predictions. I'll let the professionals do it. We're going to listen to you, obviously, call game 1 through whatever we need to get this series closed out. But 7 o'clock in Detroit, that's where you're at right now. And we appreciate you carving out a little bit of time here for us here on the Inside Edge Network. We always appreciate you. You're a friend of the network. And next time we'll get you a cup of coffee or something. When you're in Cleveland, we'll get you a cup of coffee. How's that sound?
Anybody willing to buy me a cup of coffee, I'm going to take you up on that. So, let's get together in Cleveland sometime. I enjoyed this the first time and now had a great time here the second go round. So, anytime you guys send out the invitation, I'll be glad to join you. And hey, let's keep this rolling and let's keep the Cavs postseason going for a little bit while.
Sounds good to me. Sounds perfect.
Heck yeah. No, I'm with it. We are with it, Tim. Again, Tim Alcorn, the voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers, the radio voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers. You can check him out tonight, 7 o'clock against the Detroit Pistons, Game 1. Of course, you can check it out on WTM 1100, 100.7 FM, WMMS. Check out all that great stuff. Tim Alcorn, the man, the voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Very great stuff. We appreciate you. And we're looking forward to talking to you next round, Tim. I'll say it. You don't have to say it. We're looking forward to talking to you next round. So that's what we're sending the good vibes.
We're going to speak it into existence. Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking forward to the same. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely. Tim Alcorn, again, the voice, the radio voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Check him out, 7 p.m. Cavs, Pistons, Game 1. We'll have post-game here on the Inside Edge Network. Chad, Kyle, and I will keep you absolutely immersed in Cavaliers knowledge and a lot of fun here. So, Tim, thanks again. We're going to go to break here. When we come back, we will talk about some great stuff coming up on the other side, some other Cavs stuff. Talk some Gardos, because Chad will be mad if I don't talk some baseball, and we'll talk a whole lot of other stuff.
It's my requirement.
Again, thank you, Tim, and thank you to all you out there watching. This is the Inside Edge Network. That's Chad Bryan. I'm Eli Moon, and we're back after this.
Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Ryan and Hallie Mosser. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio, but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at mossermomentsphotography.com. Whether you're searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and player. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, but you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee.
And welcome back to Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. I have now learned that Chad Bryan, he is over to my right. Again, he is over to my right. Chad Bryan, Eli Moon, Inside Edge Primetime. We talk Cavaliers postgame for that first hour. Thank you to Kyle Cornell from Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell, 5 to 6 p.m. weekdays here on the Inside Edge Network for rocking with us, and we are rocking on Primetime. Chad, what is so funny, pal?
I texted you. Your camera's all black, buddy. You're a black screen on my end. I don't know if that's.
Oh, okay. Well, let me. Why don't I dip out for a second, since I'm a black screen, and why don't we go ahead? You start priming the people for the Guardians, and I'll tune back in here in just a second.
Sounds good. This is the power outage version of Eli Moon. No big deal. No, the Guardians. Man, they lose again to the Royals today, and you got to. I'm looking at the division standings, and. Boy, this AL Central is either the SEC version of cannibalism, right? They always say like the teams just chew each other up because they're so good, or this division is really bad right now. And I'm afraid it might be the second option. Every team in the division right now is below 500. They're all within a game and a half of each other. Top three teams are all pretty much tied. The White Sox are 17 and 18. Tigers and Guardians are both sitting at 18 and 19. The Royals are right there at 17 and 19. And then the Twins are just, like I said, just off the pace at a game and a half out of first at 16 and 20. So, yeah, the whole division is kind of stinking it up right now. And as far as the Guardians go, Stephen Kolek made his debut today. Don't read too much into it. I know it seems like we keep making excuses for this offense. But sometimes with a debut, it's like this, right? You don't have a ton of film on a guy. You haven't really seen how he's going to attack major league hitters. So Kolek shut down the Guardians. I mean, 6 innings, 4 hits, struck out 3, gave up a few runs. But yeah, Guardians unable to pick up the win against the Royals. Gavin Williams was okay. Struck out 7, but he did give up 8 hits and 5 runs as well. So I don't know. It's a regular season game. It's May. It's early May. It's not Memorial Day yet. We know the Guardians heat up in May, and Eli's back, and I'm on the other side of the screen. We don't know what's going on, but it's fine. We'll figure it all out. At least you got your lights back on, your camera back on anyway. You had a little power out.
Dude. Hey, you know what? I'm back. And you know what? I'm probably just as strong as the Guardians offense. I'm sure that's where you left off. That the Guardians offense.
We were just talking about the power outage in the division right now. Everybody's below 500. Everybody's a game and a half within. It's a wild mess right now in the AL Central. But somebody's going to figure it out and run away with it, right? Maybe.
Right. You would imagine so, Chad, right? You know, Tariq Skubal, obviously the loose bodies in his elbow, having the surgery. That really kind of shakes things up for Detroit. And then, right now this series, and I mean, we're not going to make too much of a May series against the Kansas City Royals. You mentioned yesterday, this is a team that is a lot better than what they show on paper right now. Yeah, but it's still, I think the big concern for me is just how many runs the Guardians are giving up. This is not an offense that can allow 5, 6, 7, 8 runs. I feel like I'm talking about LeBron when he was in Miami. 5, 6, 7, 8. But but I just, it wasn't what I expected after the first few series where the offense was playing real well and things like that. It's kind of been a little bit a lot to be, desired, I guess. A lot left to be desired. And that's, I guess, the biggest concern is something's got to shake, Chad. Either the offense got to score 5 to 6 runs a game, which, let's be real, we haven't seen that a lot in Cleveland over the last 10 years with Guardians baseball, or the pitching's got to get under control. I mean, I know Tanner Bybee's had his struggles with getting really, I think it was 0 runs of support in his last 4 starts going into yesterday's game. So just tough. But I mean,
right now he could be Jacob deGrom in his prime, and he'd still be 1-4 or whatever with this team. I mean, there's not a lot you can do if you're not scoring runs. And I was just saying on the Royals end, Stephen Kolek made his debut. And I don't know if you heard me while you were gone, but I know it feels like I'm making excuses for the Guardians, Eli. But sometimes when a guy's making his debut, it's like this, right? You just don't have a lot of film. You don't really know how he's going to attack. You don't know tendencies. You're just kind of going up there blind. Well, like everybody does before they get to the major leagues when they're hitting, right? You don't have film at that level. But these guys are used to they know every pitcher inside and out from watching film. And, probably most clubs have, the simulator set up so they can actually hit off guys and beat, whatever. So when you see a new pitcher, sometimes it's, delivery's different. Just mechanic. Everybody throws a little bit different. Everybody hides the ball differently. So don't make too much of whatever. They got shut down in a May game. Like I said, we're not going to make too much of a series with the Royals in May, but they do have to get going eventually, right?
Yes, and I know there's people probably sounding the panic alarm for Travis Bazzana because I know he had another rough game tonight or this evening, 0 for 3. Yeah. The one thing is he's figuring it out. Nobody's, I think, sounding the alarm in Pittsburgh with Connor Griffin, the 19-year-old that signed a huge contract. I don't think they're sounding the alarms there, so I think we should chill out here. And
rough start for him. He's turned it around now. And to your point about Bazzana, he's having good at bats. Sometimes the ball just doesn't fall. If you look at the advanced stats, the advanced metrics on Bazzana, he's barreling the ball up a little bit. He's had some bad breaks, but he's walking more than he strikes out. I mean, he's not playing. He's going to figure it out eventually. You can tell he's not lost at the plate. He's not, it'd be different if he was, 1 for 24 at this level with 22 strikeouts or something. But I mean, he's going to figure it out. It seems like he's on the right path.
Yeah. And here's the thing, Chad, if Guardians fans are expecting Travis Bazzana to be the reason this offense completely starts scoring 4, 5, 6 runs a game, then that's kind of silly season. I mean, we got to look at some of the guys that are on the roster that have been on the roster. Stephen Kwan 0 for 4 today. Jose is going to do his thing. I'm not worried about Jose. He's been finding his bat even more so, and it's Jose Ramirez. But some of these other guys, Bo Naylor. I mean, can somebody figure out what's going on with Bo Naylor? Like, does he just not want to play offense? Does he want to be a designated catcher? Like, what exactly are we doing here? I don't know.
Can we hit for the catcher and just maybe let the pitchers hit again? I mean, should we do that?
I don't know. We might have a better chance. Yeah. I mean, we get Parker Messick up there and start swinging the bat. I mean, we might have a better chance. I just don't understand it, Chad, right? It's that's been the biggest concern for me is like something's got to give. Either the offense got to start scoring a lot more runs, which is probably unlikely. Maybe, a run or 2 more. They scored 3 tonight. Or the pitching's got to get a little bit more under control.
Honor Reese Hoskins 3-run homer, by the way. So at least that's Hoskins' 3rd home run of the year. That's pretty good.
Right, but you think about that. If they don't go yard tonight, I know I get that. It's a dangerous game. But if they don't go yard tonight, are they scoring a run, right? So that is the one concern is just like a mixture of like both things are not working out at the same time. Like the offense isn't scoring enough because the pitching isn't holding it down. And usually the pitching is something we can hang our head on. Right now, this last few stretches of baseball, not so much, Chad, I'll be honest.
Yeah. It's not going great right now. I mean, like I said, they're tied in the division. They're still tied for first. As poorly as it's gone, but you can credit that directly to being in kind of a rough division right now. So, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I guess you take the good with the bad and just kind of move on and just hope they get it figured out while everybody else is kind of, struggling to figure it out as well in the division.
Yeah, and this was I think, abnormal start, too, from Gavin Williams. I will say that. I'm being hard on the pitching, but it was abnormal. He's had a really good stretch of baseball recently, his last few starts.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 innings pitched tonight.
He walks a lot of guys, though, man. He's got to rein that in. You can't give runners you can't give teams a lot of runners. You just can't put that many runners on base. You can't give them free runners. You got to, especially when your offense isn't scoring, you've got to keep guys off the bases. But I am concerned about his walks.
Yeah, the walks for sure. Tonight only 2, but yeah, it's been a concern. Tonight he just got pieced up. I mean, 8 hits, 5 earned runs. I mean, they had the 7 strikeouts. We got pieced up. And it was all 500 runs credited to Gavin Williams. So
all or nothing for them. Weird, right? Like you're either getting hit hard or you're completely missing bats. So maybe it's just a location issue. Just got to get that reined in a little bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely, pal. Well, hey, Guardians are going to be rocking and rolling all the way until hopefully October. We'll keep an eye on them. We have some business to take care of tonight, okay? Double Anthony Alford's coming up at midnight. He told us, hey, be out of the studio by midnight.
Get
I
out
need
of
you
my
out.
way.
11:59, I need you out of here.
It was
Eli, you
not
can stay.
nice
You're
about
producing
it.
the
Yeah, at
show.
all.
Yeah. You're producing the show, Eli. You can stay, I guess. But Chad, that chicken sandwich list, I'm gonna redeem you. All right, I'm gonna redeem you, pal. I got.
Do I need redeeming? I thought my list was pretty strong, honestly.
It wasn't.
Really? Okay, all right, that's fair.
It wasn't. Respectfully, it wasn't. It wasn't. KFC at number 4. Crazy. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a quick pause. When we come back, we're going to have our final segment of Inside Edge Primetime. We hope you've enjoyed so far, and thank you for tuning in and rocking with us here for almost 2 hours straight. We got another hour of strong coverage with Midnight Run with Anthony Alford.
Yeah.
But when we come back, I asked Chad, can I just borrow the Tuesday Top 5 for a moment and let me do something? He said, yeah, absolutely. So when we come back,
that easily, we had a little text argument, but I did eventually.
We did.
Control. I
didn't want to, say that on air.
Even though I still did the graphics. Jeez.
He did the graphics. He's the man. But I'm the man with the plan when it comes to cheeseburgers. When we come back here on Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network, we're going to talk about my top 5 cheeseburgers and hopefully leave a list that leaves a better taste in your mouth. So let's go after that. This is the Inside Edge Network. This is Inside Edge Primetime on the Inside Edge Network, and we are back right after this.
Discover our collection of handcrafted candles. That's right, every product is thoughtfully created in small batches free from harmful toxins for mindful everyday indulgence. Our candles are hand-poured in coconut soy wax with natural wood wicks, offering a long-lasting burn and rich fragrances. Create a cozy, safe ambiance for your home with candles from Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers use the promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network.
If you're not staying up till midnight, what are you doing? I understand everybody has to work, but you miss Midnight Run Trivia. Myself and Eli. If you don't know the playoff schedule and you don't know which network the playoff schedule's on, we don't either. So check that out. Midnight Run Trivia. Plus, we talked about Jared Allen. He was an absolute beast, and the Cavaliers needed to get that game 7 because things would have been a lot different. Coming up tonight, we react to Cavs Pistons game 1. Hopefully, we are in a positive, celebratory mood talking about Cavs Pistons tonight. That's Midnight Run, tonight at midnight, with myself, Double A Anthony Alford, right here on the Inside Edge Network.
And welcome back to Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. The cat's out the bag. Chad Bryant, he's over to my right, which, of course, means you're right. And I'm Eli Moon. And we are back here on Inside Edge Primetime, a final segment. Here we are rocking and rolling. Again, reminder, you heard him, Midnight Run with Anthony Alford. At the top of the hour, we'll do the handoff. He'll join in. Hopefully he likes my top 5. Tuesday top 5 list. I mean, we'll see. If you're wondering why, again, Chad Bryant, Eli Moon here back with you. If you're wondering why this has been such a heated discussion, this Tuesday top 5, which has really just become really like a heated debate at this point. If you're wondering why, I've already let the cat out of the bag that I'm doing Tuesday top 5 of cheeseburgers. Chad, I don't know how to do it. Let's just roll the tape of last week's Tuesday top 5.
Fair enough. Number 1, in my mind, again, this is chicken sandwiches that I've personally had. There are chicken sandwiches out there that I want to try that look amazing that may take over the number 1 spot, but it doesn't matter. I haven't eaten them. I can't put them number 1 if I haven't eaten it. So this is the undisputed heavyweight champion. No gimmicks here, right? No unnecessary toppings, Eli. It's just a perfectly seasoned, pressure-cooked chicken breast, exactly 2 pickles, and a buttered bun. And that's it. It is literally, it's simplicity executed at an elite level. All right, this sandwich, this next chicken sandwich, number 1 on the list, it's the Michael Jordan of chicken sandwiches that I've had.
Wow.
Others may compete, but this sandwich owns the highlights, right? You watch the highlights, it none other than this chicken sandwich. Every single bite says, we didn't need bacon. We had greatness. It's Chick-fil-A. It's the Chick-fil-A classic chicken sandwich. The Southern style, like the buttered bun with the pickles and nothing else on it, man. Nothing you don't like here. You like pickles? Are you okay with pickles?
This is my sandwich, man. I love
this. Is you.
Yep.
Take it off the screen. It looks nice, and I believe that bun. It's perfect.
Yep. It's perfect, man. It's perfect. I mean, look at that. The chicken. I mean, it's not even doing it justice. I mean, you go to Chick-fil-A and you go there, any day but Sunday. I mean, because you're gonna be disappointed to go on Sunday. And that's the one thing you could argue.
Very disappointed to go on Sunday. Yeah.
It's the one thing you could argue. These other stores and these other restaurants are open on Sunday. So, but this sandwich is so good. It only needs to be open 6 days a week. I mean, this thing is so dang good. My little brother taught me the hack too. He puts American cheese on his. Okay. We add American cheese, and it adds a nice little, an extraness. But yeah, the pickles. I mean, like.
Yeah, I mean, if you're wondering why we're here, look no further than that clip where Chad, if you noticed on that top 5 chicken sandwich list that Chad's had, there was no Popeyes. There was no KFC was at number 4. No Dave's Hot Chicken. I mean, it was a mess. It was a big mess.
Wait, real quick, I got to come clean with you. Okay, so my friend Molly from Turkey, well, she lives in Turkey. She's not from Turkey. She lives in Turkey now. She watched the show last week, the Tuesday Top 5. She watched it, watched the segment.
Yeah.
She is a trained cordon bleu chef, right? Told me my list was completely agreeable, Eli. Not only that, I do have to, this is the come clean part. She sent me a picture, and I wish you could see, but it's me. And she goes, "You're on the right, on his left, my right." And I said, I know. I don't have the heart to tell him yet.
You're so mean.
You're
so mean.
Sometimes you got to grow on their own, Eli, and you've grown, and we're very proud of you. And we hope we're proud of you after this cheeseburger list. We'll see what happens.
You literally let me go into every show saying the same thing. Oh my goodness. All right. With that being said,
it looked different on your end. I said, who am I to argue right and left? I don't know. You never know. I'm getting old. I might have forgotten.
Okay, Mr. 46-year-old. All right. Thanks. With that being said, Chad, there's nothing else to do but kick it over to our Tuesday Top 5.
That's it.
And of course, here it is. InsideEdge Primetime Tuesday Top 5. They let me drive today. Chad let me get the wheel. So I'm taking the Corvette for a spin. So
I'm holding on to the handle above the. I'm nervous, but I'm going to watch. This is going to be fun. I can't wait to actually see things as we drive. This is going to be fun.
Everybody go ahead and grab on to the nearest safety thing you need near you, because we're going to go for a spin. This is InsideEdge Primetime Tuesday Top 5. I'm on the control panel. Eli's favorite cheeseburgers is the topic. All right. Boom. All right, so I got to get a little familiar here. Here's the stick shift. Do Corvettes have stick shifts? You can tell how much I drive. Yeah. All right. So cool. Awesome. This is my favorite cheeseburgers list. After the travesty that one Chad Bryan has put on to us with chicken sandwiches and disrespected chicken sandwich lovers united across the United States of America and the world, to be honest with you, I had to redeem absolutely everybody here with my favorite cheeseburgers. Now, let me give you a little background. I've lived in Cleveland. I lived in Parma. I've lived in Old Brooklyn. I've lived in Brooklyn. I've lived in downtown Cleveland. I've been out of state for shows and, collective business, taking care of, LaHale stuff, everything. So I have a decent palate. Now, I did keep this a lot Ohio-centric. Now, you can find some of these places elsewhere, but kept it a little Ohio-centric, but stay tuned. It's a very exciting list. Eli's favorite cheeseburgers. Looks cool. I like that, Chad. Thanks for putting that together for us. Yeah, thanks. All right. Number 5. Now, number 5, let me tell you a story. Chad usually has these great descriptions. I'm going to tell you a story. When I was doing carpentry, I did carpentry for about, 3-4 months and realized I was probably not cut out for the job. The saws were starting to send me instead of I was sending the saw through, to get the cut. I mean, it's getting a little ugly. The one thing I looked forward to, Chad, was lunchtime. And I loved lunchtime because you know what? That was my moment where I could shine. I knew all the places to go. At least I thought. And then we get to this moment where number 5 on the list is going to appear. We pull up, and I'm like, man, I've never heard of this place. What? They got great milkshakes, and they got great fries, and they got just everything you need. And I'm like, that's awesome. But what about a burger, man? And I'm glad I asked, because number 5 on my list is none other than Culver's. Now, we're not going to get into the exact specifics of what burger. You can choose what you like. I don't like onions, tomatoes, or any of that. So this burger necessarily wouldn't suit me. But a Culver sandwich, the mushroom and Swiss is my go-to. The mushroom and Swiss, phenomenal. You put some mustard on it. You got to tell them to actually put some mustard on it, though, because sometimes you get a dab of mustard. And unless you're doing the dance move, nobody likes to dab. So you got to make sure you get your mustard on your mushroom and Swiss. It is just, you bite into the bun. It's like, wow. I'm a hardworking man at this time, and still I am, but I'm a blue-collared carpenter, apprentice, grunt, whatever you may. And here I am, and I'm biting into this Culver's burger. And Chad, I found the energy to get through the rest of the day. I think I may have had my most productive day on the carpentry field that I've ever had. I was ready to retire. Hey, put my hard hat in the rafters. It's over. Culver's has a special spot in my heart because on a day where I was getting my ass kicked at work, Culver's came in clutch.
Perfect. You can't beat it. Listen, so while I was doing these graphics, my daughter came in and she said, "Oh, Culver's. We like Culver's." And she said, "Tell Eli he has good taste in food." And I said, don't tell him that. I'm not going to say that to him because he's already got this ego about food. He thinks my chicken sandwich list stunk. But I'm telling you anyway. We actually our first experience with Culver's. We were on vacation, and we were looking for a place to eat. We said, hey, how about Culver? And everybody the kids, they don't like to change their routines. They freaked out a little bit. And then we tried it, and they loved it. So yeah, I agree. Culver's has a great burger.
Absolutely, I appreciate you. Thank you. Number 5, Culver's. Now I'm going to tell another story here for number 4.
All right.
I was working downtown. I was in the mortgage industry at the time. And downtown Cleveland, if you've been down there, if you were just, down there for maybe, game 7 for the Cavaliers, you would see there's so many options for food. And I mean, don't get me wrong, fellas and ladies out there. There are so many great options for food. I mean, next time we can maybe do downtown Cleveland great spots, and maybe Chad gives me the reins again. We'll see. I gotta figure that out. But
we'll see how you
get
the
story. Yeah. Back to the story. I'm walking around and, we're trying to find out what is there, there's Wahlburgers and there's Susie's, the soup and deli spot. There's so many great spots. And I'm like, but you know what sounds good is a burger. And so we start walking around and, I know Wahlburgers has burgers, but, I don't buy into the hype, respectfully. And I like Mark Wahlberg. Those guys are cool. The Wahlbergs are cool. I don't buy into the hype. And I wanted to try something a little different. And yes, the fries keep you there, but the burger is why you show up. And if you want to bite into a burger that just has the juiciness, the season, just amazingness, and walking enough distance where if you live downtown or another location, you could walk back to your house, but the burger's not going to make it there. None other than number 4, it is Shake Shack. I mean, look at that. Again, not a tomato guy, not like the fancy stuff, but you put like that double stack, Chad. That is effort right there. That is some effort that we have not seen from some sports teams in Cleveland recently. I mean, this is effort. This is like, you know what? We're going to give it to you and then we're going to lay it on. This is an avalanche of burger and you're wanting more. You might go back in and order more. Shake Shack is number 4 on my list.
Okay. I have not had Shake Shack. I think it sounds amazing. That burger though, first of all, it looks amazing, but it looks like it's taller than me and it's looking down at me, judging me. I feel like maybe there's an intimidation factor from this burger a little bit right now, but it looks amazing. It looks like it would taste really good. So I think I could brave it. I think I could unwrap it and, maybe get into the whole attitude or whatever. I could eat that thing. Yeah, I could eat that.
You know what? I trust you that you can face your fear here. And, one day we will go to Shake Shack very soon. You'll get to try that.
But if they have a burger that's like 7 feet tall, I don't know if I'm probably not going to order that one.
Yeah, we know how you acted around Kyle. So, I mean, imagine a burger 7 feet tall. My goodness. All right. Back in the saddle here.
4'12".
As you see here.
Okay.
Number 5 is Culver's. Number 4 is Shake Shack. We're on to number 3. Okay. All right. We're going to get fun here, folks. Going to get a little controversial maybe for some of you out there. But if it is, I'm sorry. We just might not have the same taste in burgers. With that being said, number 3. Now, in this economy, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if we could really put this at number 1. So that's partially the reason for the slide. The other reason for the slide is it just kind of takes a minute sometimes. You order and you're like, okay, well, Sally got hers and John got theirs and Chad has ordered 3 orders and got all his. And okay, well, like what is going on here? And then I don't know, man, but you got it before me. And we get into this moment, however, and when you order, they show you the love on the fries. They dump the whole bag in basically. Like, look, we got this whole order. This is the fries. These are the fries. We don't have any more fries. You took our fries.
Yeah.
Again, this isn't a fries debate. We can have that another day. Mm-hmm. This is about the burger. And I'm telling you, yes, the price is hefty, but sometimes price is what you pay, value is what you get.
It's fair.
And with this burger, my goodness, you can get like the little sesame seeds on the bun. You bite into it. You're like, okay, come on, man. This can't be real. And then you take another bite. And you're like, this is real. And you're like, okay, I paid like $30 for this meal. All right. So for all those reasons, the great taste of the burger, for the price that kind of knocks it down a little bit, it still falls in top 3. None other. And number 3, it is Five Guys.
All right. That looks like a bacon burger there. That looks amazing.
Yeah.
Five Guys. I haven't had Five Guys in a long time. But I do remember the insane amount of French fries that you get. And it does feel like you have probably taken their French fries for the next at least 3 days when you walk out of there with the bag. By the way, Ryan Mosser says Shake Shack is top tier. So Ryan Mosser is that's all caps too.
That's right. That's right. They know I know what I'm talking about. Come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to Shake Shack at some point then. Yeah, Five Guys is pretty good too, but you are right. You're gonna pay about $10 to $14 for that burger. I mean, depending on how many patties, how much bacon you got on there. I don't know what those green things are at the most, jalapenos. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, you're gonna pay a little bit for the burger, but it's gonna come back. You're gonna get your return on investment in fries. You're gonna get more fries than you could probably eat in one sitting.
It's such a great choice, and like I said, the only reason it's not higher on this list is because of that price. I mean, in this economy, that's like 3 gallons of gas for that burger.
Goodness, I know. And then you got to, that's wild.
It's crazy.
And you got to get home with all the extra weight, all the extra fries. You're burning more gas there.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. Now, I know we're up against it here, Chad. So I'll be short and sweet here with number 2, and that's kind of like this burger, right? You know, it's got a little sweet tendency to it.
I think that's how Paul referred to me back on short and sweet. I don't know.
It's got this delicious nature to it. You get the rush of them running out to get your order. They're so nice to people there. They get your order, boom, boom, you're in and out. It is amazing. Even on a busy weekend, you're out of there before a Taco Bell run. It is incredible. The sweet nature of the burger, it's something that I just want to keep going back and getting it again. In fact, it's almost becoming like the Lahele stop after a show or before a show because we know it's reliable. And that, for all those reasons, number 2 on my list, Swenson's.
All right.
I mean, look at that. I mean, I'm not a galley boy guy. Again, I'm a plain Jane. I do a bacon cheeseburger. I put some ketchup, mustard, and pickle on it, and we call it a day. But the burger is why we're here, folks. It's not the toppings. It's not the additionals. It's about the soul of what we're looking at here, and that's that burger, that patty right there. And that Swenson's patty is dangerous.
Yeah, a long time ago, many moons ago, if you will, I sold cars. That's what I did for a little while. And I had a client, I sold her a car. She was happy with it. She came back like 5-6 days later. She said, "Hey, I appreciate all your help. I want to take you to Swenson's for lunch." And I said, "Okay." And it was my first experience with Swenson's. It's so delicious. It's just like you said. It's the whole atmosphere of the whole place, right? Like you're eating in the car. It's like the whole. It's like kind of like a flashback to the 50s or whatever. It's fun, man. And it's a good burger. It's a really good burger. Absolutely it is. And it would be number 1 if we only had 4 options and I took number 1 off. But at last we are here. It is number 1, and we're going to go outside of Ohio. I was out in San Antonio back in March for the Thriller in Texas Festival, first annual. It was a great time. San Antonio artists, Cleveland artists. It was an amazing time. We're going to run it back again next year. And I got to shout out my guys, Devontae and Ruthless June, because they took Cliche and I to this spot. We get there, I'm like, okay, this looks amazing. Like, I can't wait. And I'm looking around, what can I get? And then I look and I see this patty melt, and it's on Texas toast. Oh, boy.
And I'm like, okay, brother, we are about to have a dilemma here because there's so many things I can order on this menu. But I'm glad I ordered the burger so I can bring it to this moment right here. Not much really to describe other than if you want heaven in between 2 Texas toast slices, then you go to this spot. When you're in Texas or you find one near you, you gotta find one. This is like you said the Michael Jordan last week of chicken sandwiches. Chad, to be honest with you, to truly be honest with you, this is like the Alexander Ovechkin of burgers. This is like this. They keep scoring. They don't know how to miss. And they're gonna have longevity. Number 1 on my list. And the number 1, my favorite cheeseburger is Whataburger. Look at that thing. I mean, that's not even the patty melt, but so many great options. I mean, just inefficient, and they're so nice. You get that Southern hospitality, Chad. This is a list I can be proud of, and I'm sure you can be too.
It looks like a fantastic burger. I have the same problem I had last week. My mouth's watering. I can't talk, Eli. It looks like a good burger. I have not ever seen it personally ice skate. I don't know how slick it is on the ice. I don't know anything about that. If you say it scores, it scores. Listen, Omar says -2. I think he gave you -2. I don't know if you lost points there.
He told me that because Swenson, he says number 1.
Yeah.
Which we had a debate. I kind of like revealed my list a little bit last night to Omar. We were talking about a debate in it. He said, "I don't think you can go out there and put Whataburger over Swenson's." I said, "Watch me."
He did it.
Here we are. I did it. So sure I'll hear about it after, when I give him a shout, because he's watching obviously right now, and he'll watch Midnight Run. So and Omar, of course, got some big plans for him with the Inside Edge Network, so stay tuned with that as well. But Chad, we're up against it. That is my favorite cheeseburgers, my Tuesday top 5 of cheeseburgers. What you think?
I love it. I haven't had Whataburger. I haven't had Shake Shack. But the other 3 burgers on the list I've had, I agree they're good burgers. I know what I'm doing for lunch tomorrow now. Damn it.
Yes.
Trying to stay away from things like this, but here we are again. This is our fault. We did this to ourselves. It's about 7 a.m. in Turkey right now. So I'm going to consult with my Cordon Bleu trained chef friend, Molly. I'm going to have her go over your list with a fine-tooth comb. I'm going to have her look it over. This is akin to like a health department inspection. We're going to see what happens. I will have her look over, and we'll see who wins. We'll see who wins. Is it the burgers or is it the chicken sandwiches? We'll find out.
We'll find out.
We may have that answer for you tomorrow night right here on Primetime.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that isn't enough of a reason to tune in. I don't know what is, folks.
Yeah.
There it is. Tuesday top 5, my favorite cheeseburgers. We're up against it. Anthony Alford, I hear the coffee brewing somewhere, so we got to get going. Chad, very quickly, in about 30 seconds each, final thoughts here on this Tuesday with a bunch of stuff we covered here today.
My final thoughts are, well, they were on the screen, but you took them off. That's okay because it says final thoughts now. But I wanted to say I'm over here on the right. I just want to say that to everybody out there. I'm over here on the right. I've known where I was the whole time. Every burger on that list looked amazing. I'm going to try to somehow eat all 5 of them for lunch tomorrow. I'm going to Texas tomorrow.
I love it. I love it. I will say this. I'll take my last 30 seconds here of the show to say, well, we found him. He's somewhere. He's got a coffee, I think, somewhere near him. He is ready to be unhinged. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to play the intro music tonight because he's already ready. He said, Eli, cut the music. I'm ready. I'm ready to rock. Ladies and gentlemen, it is at midnight on the dot. Inside Edge Primetime has come to a close. We'll see you tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Same spot here on the Inside Edge Network, but don't go anywhere because the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Alford, is here right after station identification. Back after this.
And with that, welcome into Midnight Run here on the Inside Edge Network. We got to get right into it. Reaction to a game that, unlike Saturday, when I was just like, oh, man, the Cavaliers can pull through. I'm watching James Harden do that. I'm watching James Harden just fumble the basketball away. And again, I'm trying to keep my composure because I have neighbors. But hell, they hear my snoring every single night. So it is what it is. Cavaliers lose game 1. What was it, 111 to 101 was the final. Just sloppy play all around. And we got to have a legitimate conversation about the core 4 and a legitimate conversation about James Harden. I want to lead off with something like this. When's the last time a team won an NBA championship with no A-level players? Give me a team in the last 25 years that has won an NBA championship without a single A-level player on the roster. In particular, offensively. I can only think of one team. That fits that category. And I don't even know if I would have lumped them into this. That might be the 2004 Detroit Pistons. And I don't even know if that's fair because Chauncey Billups back then was considered one of the best point guards in the NBA. But if you look back at every NBA champion, every team that has won the title, they had at least one, if not two, A-level scorers on the team. Guys you could go to, depend on to make critical shots when you need them most. I cannot identify a single person on this team who can consistently do that. I can't. And listen, I'm not saying the Cavaliers are not getting foul calls because, yeah, fine, they're not. And I know Donovan Mitchell has some things to say about the officiating. and others. Which, by the way, I want to let you guys know, if you do talk trash about the officiating, you can still get fined, even if it's not within the confines of an NBA media availability. Just ask Jaylen Brown, who got fined $50,000 for his little rant on Twitch yesterday. Yeah, that did happen. that story, that just happened. But this core four, let's start here. 6 minutes into the game, Jared Allen already 3 fouls. Already 3 fouls. And that's a problem already, because at that point, you're destroying rotations. I mean, at that point, the rotations, you're looking at that, and that becomes a problem. So Jared Allen, 3 fouls already. So basically, he's unavailable for the entire first half. I know he only ended the game with 4 fouls, but essentially, you don't have any rhythm. Forget about it. Evan Mobley. Where are you down low? Where are you down low defensively, especially in the second half when the team needed you defensively? Non-existent. And offensively, not able to really crash the boards. Maybe it was a Jared Allen special. That was it. Donovan Mitchell, I look at Donovan Mitchell's box score. Like, if you didn't watch the game, you would think, 23 points from Donovan Mitchell. Okay, not bad. Until you realize it's Donovan effing Mitchell. He's supposed to be the guy on the team, and the reason why James Harden had to do so much, and we're going to get to James Harden here in 2 seconds, but the reason why James Harden has played these playoffs like it's him against the world is because for large stretches of games, Donovan Mitchell is non-existent. We need critical shots to be made on the road. It ain't happening. In fact, this stat blows my mind. I told this to our postgame guys earlier. Donovan Mitchell, since he's joined the Cavs, they are 4-12 on the road in the playoffs. 4-12. They have not won a game on the road against a playoff team. A playoff team. They have not won a game against a team in the playoffs since February 9th against Denver. By my count, that's about 3 months. The way it blows my mind. This core four on the road has been a huge failure and a huge disappointment on the road. At home, they're great. At home, they step up. But on the road, they act like role players. The way we talk about the playoffs is typically the role players struggle on the road, but your superstars elevate their game. They step up. Their scoring averages are higher in the postseason because they have more minutes in the postseason. Oh, there's noise, adversity. You look towards your leaders to have poise, to have composure. It amazes me that these these B-plus players on the road, they act like role players. So you're going to tell me, boy, if we would have had Sam Merrill, this could have been a difference. Our stars, I mean, they're not supers. They don't show up on the road. From a mental standpoint, I'll be honest, it's weak. We've had enough of a sample size. The mental mentality of these is weak. Now, I'll give them credit. Defensively, honestly, this could have been a blowout. Defensively, they kept themselves in the game. But when you have James Harden, he has 7 turnovers, only 6 made field goals. He had more turnovers than field goals. Which, by the way, that is not the first time we've said that about James Harden. Unbelievable. Let's actually hear from James Harden first. We have some post-game sound. Let's hear from James Harden. We'll go in order here. First, James Harden on the game one loss against Detroit tonight.
You get different stints of the game. And one stint, you might come out and play the best basketball ever. You might hit every shot. And then you might come out and not make any shots. You know what I mean? It's like you had even killed the entire game. Like, this game is so... this game is a long game. It's long quarters, it's long games, it's long series. So, you know, I'm luckily I've been in this situation a lot to where I know how to like just, balance, collect myself and go out there and just understand what they're doing and how can I be effective. And, I did that in the fourth quarter. So, different series, like first quarter we spot them 16 points. We give them 31 points, off our turnovers in transition. Like, that's the game, and we watch film, we figure out our spacing and things like that, but don't turn the basketball over and, get out to a better start. And we still tied the game up twice, in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes to go. So, simple.
And James Harden was part of that scoring run to tie the ball game up late. And then again, he had critical turnovers right after. I think after we tied the game, Detroit scored, 8 straight points with an 8-0 run. And that pretty much put the game away. We got more James Harden sound in just a second. 43 turnovers for James Harden in this postseason. We're only talking 8 games. 43 turnovers. I'm not bluffing. That's trash. That's garbage. What happened to the James Harden when he got it? And I think he is partially right that his teammates are not cutting through. They're not getting to their spots. They are just as much to blame as James Harden himself. But you're a 16-year veteran. Why are you... Old habits don't die, they die hard, right? Why are you speeding the game up? You don't need to. You're moving 3,000 miles a minute and the ball's on the other end of the floor. What are you doing? I can understand if a young kid experiencing the playoffs for the first time is doing this and the lights are bright. Holy smokes, this is the playoffs. I get that. You've been to the effing finals. 16 effing years. You are paid not to make these mistakes. So James Harden was asked, are these turnovers correctable? Take a look.
Yep. 1,000,000%.
What do you think?
Some of them are, like Don just said, you look within first, and you look at my turnovers, and a lot of them were just on me, and nothing they did. So, and which led to I don't even know how many transition points they had, but it was way too many. And I mean, if I had to put my print on one thing on the game, that's the game right there. I mean, how many points they had in transition? Off our turnovers?
20,
there you
31.
Go. That's the game. Like, it's nothing else. Like we talked about last year, you get a shot on glass, even half of that, and it's a different ball game. So, for me, I got to be better, and I will be better turning the basketball over. From turning the basketball over, getting shots up, and then it gives our defense a chance to get back and get set. I think we did it. Other than that, we played a pretty solid game.
31 points off of turnovers. 31 points off of turnovers. That's a problem. Now, there will be an ongoing storyline with these players about the free throws, right? Cleveland has 16 free throws. To Cleveland's credit, they were 15 of 16 from the line. But Detroit have 35 free throw attempts. But it makes it easy when you're turning the ball over. these are things. You're 16 years in the league, man. 16 effing years in the league. You should be doing this. I'm not going to go out of my way and say that the trade with Darius Garland shouldn't have happened. The alternative is for the game to fall on Donovan Mitchell to do nothing again. That's the alternative, which is strange to me how that's happening. But, dude, come on. And then, and I thought our post-game guys made a great point. You're turning the ball over, then you're not running back on defense. So you're just giving away points. You're handing off points. You're handing off points. That James Harden, what we saw tonight, belongs on the effing bench. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. 43 effing turnovers. You can't cover it up. Now look at the film. Are guys legitimately not getting to their spots? Are they not moving around? I can see that. I can definitely see that. But this is consistent of James Harden basketball here at the tail end of this season and what he has done for years. The James Harden that we saw the first few weeks when he was here, when Evan Mobley was out, it was James, for whatever reason, the combination of James Harden and Jared Allen worked. And Donovan Mitchell worked because James Harden would get the ball and immediately find Jared Allen in the paint and get the ball to him. Within the first 5 to 10 seconds of possessions, the ball was in Jared Allen's hands, and Jared Allen was throwing the ball down, throwing the hammer down. Now, James Harden, and this has been a theme throughout these playoffs and throughout the final stretch of the regular season, ball's in his hands. Balls is not going to end up in anybody else's hands until the final seconds of the possession. And at that point, it's too late. Can't be isoing guys down and not make shots. And that's for the entire core four. But James Harden leads with that. The other issue with this game, obviously, we talked about Jared Allen being in foul trouble early on. 3 quick fouls within the first 6 minutes of the game. And that really kind of set the tone. Cleveland had a pretty decent start, and then Detroit went on a 9-2 run, and Detroit never looked back, and Jared Allen was in foul trouble. Let's take a listen to Kenny Atkinson, what he had to say about how Jared Allen's foul trouble impacted the game planning. Take a look.
It messes your rhythm up, messes rotations up. But some of those, they weren't his fouls. They, as we got a breakdown, they had a back door, and we, he's there, and trying to clean up. Usually it's not the cause of him, being in a bad position. It's more a breakdown from another person. He's got to come over and help. So, just sputtered us a little. Got us off rhythm, I thought.
And let's be real, Jared Allen, we talked about it, was Cleveland's best player back in Game 7. He was awesome. He was incredible in Game 7, particularly in the third quarter. He was fantastic. So basically, I know people are going to talk about the lack of minutes with Jared Allen in the second half, but let's be real. If you're barely playing in the first half, what kind of rhythm are you going to be in the first place in the second half? So it makes it tough. When we come back, I want to hit on something on the other side of the break, because we've had Tim Alcorn on our station, on our network here a couple times. Eli and Chad did a great job. When I interviewed Tim Alcorn before the first round, we talked about the 10-man rotation, the deep rotation for the Cavaliers. But who's the go-to scorer that you could depend on when times are tough? I'm watching these other teams put the ball in their best players' hands, and they're making shots or flopping and then making shots. Shout out to USGA. We don't have that on this team. And if we don't find that person, this season and this campaign will come to an end a week from tonight. It just will. Anthony Alford here with you. We continue on. This is Midnight Run. We're dissecting the Cavs and a pretty bad turnover night with the Cavaliers as they lose to the Detroit Pistons 111-101. More coverage when we come back. Find us online at InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on all your favorite Inside Edge Network personalities, favorite shows, and our network partners. And also, we are independent. We are grassroots. Support us and support your local community digital sports leader with our merch store. Yes, we have a merch shop. There it is right there. Look at all the great stuff you can get there. The Champion Packable jacket. Got the Inside Edge Network t-shirt. How about hats? How about a glass? How about an official polo from the Inside Edge Network? We got water bottles as well. And you can customize it. Multiple different colors and sizes that we have available for you. That's right. Rep the network. Support us here at the Inside Edge Network. We are Cleveland's digital leader for sports, entertainment, mental health, and the culture. Check out our merch store right now at InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com. The Inside Edge Network is brought to you by Fanatics. Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans, dedicated to our favorite teams and athletes, to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We're talking NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, National Hockey League, the NCAA. I'm a wrestling guy as well. We got WWE apparel available too. It allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. It's right there in the corner of your screen. Get your official gear. Level up with us at fanatics.com. I want to first, for anybody who might have been in and out of the Cavs season throughout, talk a little bit about what went down, what was like the team approach with going into that trade and transitioning from Darius Garland to James Harden.
Oh, Anthony, that's a great question because at the time, I mean, it still is a blockbuster. I mean, it shook the NBA world. And for the Cavaliers to make that deal, I think, number one, it showed that Kobe Altman and general manager Mike Gansey, they were putting all their chips in the table. They were saying, we're going for this right now. So, yeah, it was stunning when it was announced. But I think once you stepped back and kind of looked at all the aspects of it and that window of opportunity that they talk about for a team to win a championship, they're going for it right now. James Harden in his 17th year. This is now the 17th straight year he's made the playoffs. He's been able to stay healthy throughout.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Almost just want to get like that Tyra Banks. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Almost. I wish we had options in our little StreamYard setup where we just had soundboards and like that would be like a drop. That would be in there. That was my interview with Tim Alcorn before the first round of the playoffs. Remember Tim Alcorn, the voice of the Cavaliers, joined Eli Moon and Chad Bryant earlier today before game one. They did a great job with that interview. But he mentioned Tim Alcorn, James Harden. I kept saying year 16, year 17 with James Harden. So, like, he's been there and done that. I caught this from Nick Wright, and he tagged community notes. Twitter's amazing. By the way, follow us on Twitter at InsideEdgeNet, along with YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Twitch, and Instagram. But Nick Wright had this to say about James Harden. Tonight was James Harden's 181st playoff game. It was also the 45th playoff game that he has had as many or more turnovers than made field goals, which is nearly exactly 25% of his career playoff games. I bring you back to the beginning of the show. Can you look at the Cavaliers right now offensively and say we have any player that you would consider an A-level talent? And tell me the last time a team that lacked an A-level talent in the playoffs win an NBA championship. It's tough when you can't. I know James Harden had the run to bring things back in, to tie the game, but then the turnovers, as quickly as we got back into the game, it went away. Donovan Mitchell, the way he performs on the road, disappears. Evan Mobley, where were you tonight? I mean, if we get this Evan Mobley, what we saw tonight, this series will be over in 4 or 5 games. That is an unacceptable performance from Evan Mobley. Unacceptable. Evan Mobley today, only 14 points.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Yes, Alexa can't even help me with that. I don't even know if you just heard that. Alexa, how many points did Evan Mobley have tonight?
Yesterday against the Pistons, Evan Mobley scored 14 points on 6 of 11 shooting.
Even Alexa's freaking disappointed. So, unbelievable. Unreal. 14 points. That's a core 4 guy, by the way. 14 points, 9 rebounds, 6 made field goals. And if you are into plus minus, I'm not really into plus minuses, but if you're into that sort of stuff, Evan Mobley was minus 18. Yeah, not good. Not good. And then Jared Allen, obviously, in foul trouble. In 18 minutes of action, only 2 points. So basically, not a single person from the core 4 legitimately showed up. Meanwhile, I got, Cade Cunningham putting in work. 23 points. I got Duncan Robinson. 19 points. Now, I'm not trying to crap over Duncan Robinson or anything like that. But Duncan Robinson had a better backcourt performance than Donovan Mitchell as far as impact plays. Donovan Mitchell, I'm sure, is making more money than Duncan Robinson. Unreal. And then Tobias Harris sealed the game late. So Detroit can trust their guys to seal the game. Who are we looking to seal the game for us? Jared Allen did it in the game 7, but was at home. Who's going to do it on the road? And it's in Detroit. We're acting like, here's the thing about the road thing, which bothers me. We're acting like they're in like Seattle or Los Angeles, somewhere on the West Coast where they, 3 time zones away. Detroit is a 3-hour drive from here. And before that, I know you got to cross the border and stuff like that. You're in Toronto. You're still in the Eastern time zone. You're near home. And you're struggling this much on the road? This much. You couldn't handle New York City a few years ago. You couldn't handle Indianapolis, Indiana last year. You couldn't handle Boston. I mean, what road environment will work? I'm not sure if they went on the road to the Word Church, they could be able to win games in the playoffs. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. And this season's over if they can't win a single game on the road. Here's Kenny Atkinson. He talked about the turnovers and what was going on with the turnovers.
Look at it. I always look at it like it's a team thing. Always kind of starts with our spacing. I think screening is another thing. They got elite defenders. We have to get them off our ball handlers. They were stuck like glue to our ball handlers. So got to do a better job there. And then we got to win our spot too. They're taking off. They took us off our spot, especially in the first half. Kind of riding off catches, and I think at the end of the day, they were the more aggressive team. And that manifests itself in them turning us over. The rebounding, obviously, and also the free throw disparity. Right? You could say, well, I think halftime was 22-8, I think, in free throws. So usually the more aggressive team gets to the free throw line.
And that was Kenny Atkinson. And I mean, we're talking like all this is news. No, this is news. Oh, this team was more aggressive than us. Oh, this team was more aggressive. Close your eyes and think back to what series he's talking about. And no matter what team you mention, you're probably all correct. Oh, we got to be more aggressive against Detroit. Oh, we got to be more aggressive against Toronto. Oh, we got to be more aggressive. Indiana's the more aggressive team. Oh, Orlando was the more aggressive team. Or Boston was the more aggressive team. Oh, New York was the more aggressive team. No blank. Haven't done jack whatever to fix it. Haven't done anything to fix it. Unreal. Unbelievable. Game 2's Thursday. Game 2's Thursday, 7 o'clock. That's the tip. It'll be on Prime Video. I didn't take this whole scheduling thing seriously until I had a conversation with my mom during the game about how to find the game. It's like, I can't find it. I'm like, do you have Peacock? No, I'm about to get Peacock. I'm like, they're only going to have it for one game. But I like some of the shows. And you gotta work on sharing accounts and stuff. Like, oh boy, here we go. Here we go. The problem was I'm looking up the account information. I forgot my logins and stuff. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. And then now Prime Video. Hey, look at it this way. Games 3 and 4 here locally is on Channel 3, NBC. So if you have an antenna laying around, then you're set. Oh, wait, you don't have an antenna at home? You don't just have a random digital antenna laying around? That's too bad. It's too bad. I did see reports, to shift gears for just a second. I did see reports that certain bars and restaurants, and this is crazy too, because today was Cinco de Mayo. So this was actually a pretty heavy drinking day, across the country. And I did see reports from various bars that they were not able to air the Cavs game because they don't have the Peacock business plan. Now, I think the misunderstanding for a lot of these streaming, and this is where it does get tricky, a bar owner they're not allowed to just show up to their place of business, plug in their Peacock or plug in their streaming platform and just stream the game. Hey, we have the game. They can't do that. They have to have a commercial license to do that. The problem, it would be one like Prime Video might be an exception because Prime Video airs a full regular season package of football, full regular season package of NBA basketball. So in a lot of cases, commercial establishments probably have something set up with Prime Video. It might be through a business account with DirecTV or something like that. They're set up there. Where Peacock screws things up, they don't have a regular inventory of exclusive sports programming. Yes, in the regular season, they did air NBA games, but so did 20,000 other outlets, and they weren't high-ticket items. Here, this was a high-ticket item with the Pistons and Cavs, but it would be one thing if the entire series aired on Peacock, but only this game is going to air on Peacock. So I have to imagine it was a great disappointment to a lot of people here in Northeast Ohio, who was out and about, having a good time, going to bars instead of voting in local elections, out having a good time. I'm sure there was disappointment when you learned, hey, this establishment is unable to air the Cavs game. And now I'm trying, Eli and I, we did, matter of fact, let's have Eli come on the screen. Eli had a much better top 5 list than Chad, by the way. Much better top 5 list. There's a couple of adjustments I would make, but a much better top 5.
Thank you.
Than what we saw last week. So
I owed it to the people of Primetime. You know, the Inside Edge Network. I owed it to everybody out there. I couldn't let us go down like that. Double A. I couldn't.
No, the low. I'm trying to think back to. I don't have an argument against Whataburger. What was your number one?
Whataburger.
Yeah, I don't have an argument against that. I would move up Swenson's. Swenson's doesn't miss out anything.
It doesn't, Double A, and that's why I put it at 2. But Whataburger, I think, changed my life.
I know, and I can't give a judgment to honestly, you want to know where you find your best cheeseburgers? At a bar when you're drunk, because they toast them. A lot of these bars, they toast your bun.
Yeah.
That makes a loads difference. And if you're drunk watching James Harden commit 3,000 turnovers, you probably want a burger.
Yeah.
But never mind, you couldn't watch the game at the bar because it was on freaking Peacock.
So
nobody wins.
Yes.
I know you talked about it extensively, but after hearing the post-game sound from Donovan Mitchell, from James Harden, from Kenny Atkinson, I guess reflecting back now, it's been 3 hours since the game ended. What is your top takeaway from game one?
That this team doesn't care. They truly just don't care. If they win, cool. If not, well, this is why it didn't happen. We have all the right answers and all the PR answers. And James Harden's done it for 16 years now, 17th year of answering the same questions of why were the turnovers like this? Why was there a lack of effort? And it just seems like he's going through the same song and dance of just answering the same questions, taking the heat, and then moving on. And don't seem to bother him. The one thing that stood out to me too, and I don't think it's that big of a deal, but James Harden rocking a New York Yankees hat and the maroon jacket, and Donovan Mitchell in Cavaliers gear. So, I mean, respectfully, we brought in a guy who is very focused on his brand, but not focused enough to win an NBA championship, apparently, because he turns the ball over in crunch time and all that other jazz. So, like I said, I don't think the Cavs thing is a big thing, but it just seems like he's always been a me over we kind of guy, and me's usually don't win championships. We's do.
Look, okay, maybe James Harden wanted to honor John Sterling, who passed away to
Fair.
the Yankees. You know?
Well, now you made me feel bad. I mean, R.I.P. John Sterling. Now you're making me feel bad. I don't think that was the case, though, Double A.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think that was the
I had
case.
to give him something.
I don't think that was the case. I mean,
something.
it's just embarrassing, honestly. It's just, I mean, the lack of care, the lack of just the same, stagnant offense we've talked about during the season. Dribble, shoot the three, don't get the rebound. It hits off the front of the rim. They're off to the races. And you're not going to beat these younger teams running and gunning. You're not. You weren't beating Toronto. The reason you beat Toronto is because you slowed it down and got physical in the front court. You're not going to beat Detroit running and gunning. And I'll tell you this, you're not going to do it against Philly if they somehow survive New York. Maybe New York, but even then, they're the younger team. The Cavaliers have a little bit of an older team in terms of their stars. Their guys are closer to 30. And I get Brunson and Cat aren't necessarily young, but they'll have a little bit more youth on the knees and all that. It was embarrassing tonight. Absolutely embarrassing. And we had a great dinner, Double A. We were close to Cinco de Mayo dinner as we could be. We had some really great steak and rice and beans. Good. Papa Moon went in.
That's real good.
Went in. And we were just sitting there smashing. Having a great time with the food. Just a great time. And then this happens. And I'm going to have a second bowl of steak and rice after the show because I just don't know how else I could stomach that loss.
Unreal. Remember, game 2, Thursday at 7. Eli and Chad will have the game 2 post game coming up on Thursday. I think Eli needs to answer Chad. He's blowing up our text thread right now about what happened this week versus last week there. So ultimately, if the Cavs want to have any success in these playoffs, they got to make shots. No matter, we can say anything else, obviously cut down the turnovers, get to those spots. Your star players have to make shots. Every team that's still here, they're making shots. We are not making uncontested. I'm not even talking like contested shots. I'm talking uncontested shots. we're not even making those. And if we're not making those, that's a problem. Coming up next, Pick Your Poison Tuesday. The coaches of college football say, come on in, 2014 playoff. Here we go. A special edition of Pick Your Poison Tuesday comes your way next. This is Midnight Run with me, Anthony Alford, here with you Monday through Friday, midnight to 1, right here on the Inside Edge Network. Back after this.
Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order Dubby Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code InsideEdge10 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Whether you're searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and player. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, but you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee.
Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by InsideEdge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MosserMomentsPhotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. MosserMomentsPhotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Welcome back, everybody. Pick Your Poison Tuesday coming up in just a few moments. I want to remind everyone, Omega Video Marketing. If you are a content creator, a business decision maker, if you got a big event coming up, you want to get your event in front of new sets of eyes and market your business, Omega Video Marketing is the way to go. Led, of course, her own business, Megan Gallagher, 4-time Emmy Award winner, all across Ohio, including right here in Cleveland. She has you covered with Omega Video Marketing. And as we come up on, obviously spring, going into the summer, a lot of events. So you want to get the word out. Contact Omega Video Marketing. Contact Megan. Her email, meganrg440@gmail.com. That's meganrg440@gmail.com. Again, we're with you here on Midnight Run 5 nights a week, Monday through Friday, here at midnight. We're going to debut a new segment tomorrow. It's called Midnight Conversations. Midnight Conversations. I might tighten up the name a little bit. It's either going to be Midnight Conversations or Midnight Conspiracies. Deep-rooted conversations that you can only think of late at night. Yeah. I pulled up something. It's on the other computer. Excuse me when I look here real quick. We're going to come up. We got some deep conversations. I hope you enjoy it tomorrow. Eli and I will be a part of that tomorrow. And any other breaking news, we'll have that all covered for you as we get you set and ready for Game 2 of Cavs Pistons. Also, Chubb, I feel bad because all this stuff going on, I have not been following through on Guardians coverage. I've been popping it out. Best believe I'm going to be right back locked into the Guardians once the Cavaliers season, starts to simmer down a little bit. I heard Chad talk about the Guardians in the AL Central, and it's like, man, here we go again. All under 500. They still have a chance, even though we're not playing that greatly. All the offense is struggling again. Oh man, unreal. All right, how about this story? So in college football, I didn't know this organization existed, but it makes sense. It's the American Football Coaches Association, the AFCA. No, it's not like a medical profession or anything like that. No, these are an association of college coaches. Well, this is kind of a bombshell report out of college football. They came out with a report today of issues that need to be addressed. And they laid out a few bullet points. One in particular, legitimate, like stands out. So the American Football Coaches Association recommended that the college football season should be completed by the second Monday in January. And this is how they propose that this happens. Number one, eliminate conference championship games. Yeah, go to ESPN and see how that goes. Number two, reduce scheduled bye weeks from 2 to 1. I'm fine with that. Again, college football has 2 bye weeks currently. What I find interesting in high school football here in Ohio, there are no bye weeks in the first, during the entirety of the regular season. It's 10 weeks. The top 4 seeds have a bye in week 11, the first week of the playoffs. But let's say you're a 5th seed or a 6th seed, and you go all the way to the state final. That's 16 straight weeks of football without a bye. And we're talking 14 through 18-year-old kids. I find that to be a little interesting. But college, they get 2 bye weeks. And they only play 14 weeks of, 13 weeks of regular season ball. Preserve a dedicated window for the Army-Navy game while allowing flexibility for other games to be played on that day outside of that window. Okay, cool. And then reduce the minimum number of days between contests to no fewer than 6. All right, all cool. Here's the kicker. The final bullet point is whoa. In addition, future playoff models should maximize the number of participants while honoring the proposed completion date. And the number that's been floated out, 24. 24 teams in the college football playoff. Right now, we're at 12. Remember, we jumped really from 2 to 4. We skipped 6 and we skipped 8. We went right to 12. And, the Big Ten has been in great favor of expanding to 24 teams. The SEC has been the lone holdout. They won 16. The Big Ten says we want to go right to 24. And it's not just the Big Ten. Remember who runs the Big Ten? Fox Sports, who currently does not have a role in the college football playoff, but they would if they went to 24 teams. So with that being said, we have a couple minutes left in the show. Eli, it is time for Pick Your Poison Tuesday. It's pretty simple. I think this is pretty simple. Eli, floor is yours.
Thank you, Double A. I appreciate that. Yes, it's another edition of Pick Your Poison Tuesday. We're up against it, so I won't get too elaborate with it. But, okay, of course, as always, we have a red pill, Double A, and we have a blue pill. Now, Pick Your Poison Tuesday, okay? College football playoff. You just gave all the breakdown there about maybe expanding to a 24-team playoff. So in this scenario, Double A, you get to choose. Do you want the red pill or the blue pill? The red pill, a 24-team college football playoff. The blue pill, back to the BCS days, a 2-team playoff, essentially a national championship game. Double A, are you choosing the red pill, the 24-team playoff? Or are you choosing the blue pill, the 2-team national championship battle, essentially?
I'm choosing the red pill all day.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. All day.
Yeah.
I'm picking that. We're seeing here Eli acting like it would not be an incredible playoff to have 24 teams. Like that first weekend, the first couple weekends wouldn't be exciting like March Madness. Come on now. Football teams are more even than ever before because of NIL. There's more balance than people are acting like, oh, there's going to be 62-0 blowouts. So you'll be surprised how many close games you're going to get because of NIL, Eli.
Yeah, I agree, Double A. I think this one's a little bit on the easier side of our typically Pick Your Poison Tuesday. A little tougher. Tonight, I think we're in full agreement. More football, not a bad thing. Especially during January, you get more football on top of more NFL playoff football. You get all this football. It's never a bad thing. And truthfully, nobody wants to go back to a 2-team national championship decided because there's going to be at least 10 teams that are mad that they didn't get a chance to play in the playoff. And then there's another 22 that are mad because they didn't expand it to 24. It's just a mess. You're going to have a lot of arguments. Sure, you'll have arguments at 24, but what's there really to argue about? Nobody's really arguing that Indiana was the best team at the end of the day. Maybe you argue about, okay, could Notre Dame got in, whatever. 24 team eliminates that, and nobody can argue. Nobody can fight it. I'm not hearing from the 25th and the 26th team. I don't give a crap. It's red pill all day.
Yeah, it's red pill. And people are like, oh, you're eliminated the any given Saturday facet of college football. We're acting like every single week of college football was great. It's not. There are some weeks where there are matchups that are loaded. And then there are other weeks where you have scrubs and college game days at a D2 school because there's no good games.
Yeah, and I'm just to the point where it's like, I'm sick of seeing one loss determine a team being out for the entire rest of the year, and then they just don't play as hard. And, they had high hopes, and it didn't turn out. So I think this would help rejuvenate that, 2-3 loss teams getting in. I mean, we don't crap on the NFL teams for having 3, 4, 5 losses and going to win a Super Bowl. So why would we be mad at a national championship losing 2 or 3 times and regrouping to go win one? I think this would be great for the sport, to be honest with you.
It would be. All right, we're out of time. Tomorrow, I promise we'll have a calmer show. We're going to get into we'll talk Cavs Pistons game 2. We'll get settled, ready for that. We got a few other stories that we didn't get to today that we'll dive into on tomorrow's show. And because we're going 5 days a week, remember to like and subscribe at InsideEdge Net across all of our social media platforms. And thank you for your support. That notification bell, by the way, on YouTube, hit that. You get all of our alerts and notifications when we're on live. There's some conspiracy theories that, we're going to get into. We're going to call it Deep Dive Wednesday. That's what it will call it, Deep Dive Wednesday. We can't do Unpack Wednesdays anymore because Unpack Wednesdays was supposed to be the end of the week. Look, we're 5 days now, so we ain't unpacking anything. Not until Friday. But Deep Dive Wednesdays. How about this? If, okay, that might be too deep. There's one that we're not going to do this one. But one of the questions, if you died in your living room, is it still a living room? We're not going to do that. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.